Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Monday evening. Our first race will go to post in approximately 19 minutes. It is a warm Monday night in Elora, Ontario, but the track is listed as fast. Should be a great night of racing action. And let's get right to the changes. I think we'll start in race number one. Seems like a good place to get going. And note in race number one, well, we have a scratch of number 5, Some Cameo. Race 1, scratch 5, Some Cameo. The second race, we have a scratch of number 9, Flanagan Victory. Race 2, scratch 9, Flanagan Victory. In race number 3, we have scratches of 2, De Magic Mimi, and 5, Shotgun Shark. The 2 and 5 are both out. Race number 4, scratched is number 8, Show Me Some Magic. Race 4, scratch 8, Show Me Some Magic. In race number 5, number 7, Bright On Better Be. Well, adding a Murphy blind on the left. So adding a Murphy blind on the left. Race number 6, number 8, Edam's Princess is scratched. Race 6, scratch 8, Edam's Princess. Fans in race number 9, just a program note. Number 8, Up the Credit with Art. Races from the trailer post. Note that 8, Up the Credit with Art. Trailer post. Post 9. Race number 8, no changes. No changes, race number 8. The 9th race, number 6, Lions Johnny Jr. Scratched. Race 9, scratch 6, Lions Johnny Jr. And the 10th and final dash on this Monday evening. Note the number 1, Umpire Hanover, changing from blinkers to open bridle. And number 8, AJ Knight, the driver to be announced TBA on the 8th and the 10th. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, kicking off the early daily double, scratched at 5, Some Cameo. And the second race, number 9, Flanagan Victory, is scratched. It is now 16 minutes to post time, and time to welcome in our co-host and handicapping color man, Robert Reed Jr. And Robert, I understand you had a pretty good weekend. Tell us more about the harness racing weekend for Robert Reed Jr.
Well, it was a fantastic weekend. Of course, Gary, we had Friday night here at the river, and then Saturday I was at Mohawk Park where I hosted the show in studio for their card of racing. On Saturday night, I got to see a great race, the Glamour Boy division of the OSS Golds. Even got to stand in the winner's circle with Jody Jamieson and interview him after he got the job done with Bulldog Hanover once again. Just an incredible experience all around Saturday night at Mohawk Park. And then I saw you last night at Georgian Downs when I was co-hosting COSA TV alongside the legend Greg Blanchard. And we saw a great card of racing there as well with Forbidden Trade and Tattoo Artist both getting the job done after incredible miles in the Earl Rowe and the 4-year-old Invitational. Just a real amazing weekend of harness racing action. And, I even got to sit down on my couch a little bit yesterday to enjoy some of the Queen's Plate card on the Woodbine Thoroughbred side. But really, it was just a fantastic weekend, getting to do what I love and what I'm passionate about, which is the sport of harness racing. And now I get to come right back here and kick off the week right on a marvelous Monday here at Grand River Raceway in beautiful Elora, Ontario. We've got 10 races on the card, ones that I'm excited about. Actually, quick note on that. Last night at Georgian Downs, how about a regular driver here at Grand River, Austin Sorey, finishing second in that 4-year-old Invitational. A really nice race. Just missed getting up on Fortify, driving for Nancy Tactor and Diamond Creek Racing. I want to give him a shout out for that. It was a great steer. Interviewed him before the race, too. He was excited about it. But we're back here tonight. So is Austin Sori. And I like this card this evening. And we always kick it off with our Pick 5 tickets. We'll do that shortly. That pool is guaranteed at $2,500. Gary and I have some wagers mapped out for you, and we'll come back with those in just a few minutes.
Fans note a driver change. Race number 2, one Northern Ironman. It will be Scott Coulter to drive. Scott Coulter drives one Northern Ironman in the second. Also note we'll have drivers to be announced. Race 3 for Classic Venus. Race 4, number 5, Mostly Dally. And in race, that's all there is, because in race number 8, well, actually getting a little advice from Christine. Oh, I didn't see it. Race 5, number 4, Century Harlot, also the driver to be announced. So Tyler Moore off of those drives will be here later in the program. So that is race 2, 1, Northern Ironman is Scott Calder, and then Tyler Moore off of his drives in races 3, 4, and 5.
All right, folks. Well, 8 minutes to pose. You know what time it is. Pick 5 time. Guaranteed pool of $2,500 to get started in the opener. Gary and I have mapped out some tickets for you, some suggested wagers. And tonight, I'm getting back to my usual amount. I've been frugal, Rob, and I've also been, a little bit crazy, Rob, in the last week. So we're going to now try to get back to a little bit of normalcy with my size of my ticket tonight. Let's take a look at it. Race 1, 2 deep. You know what I love, by the way? Look at all the ones on that. Look at all the ones on that graphic there. That's a good sign when you're betting a pick 5 at Grand River, any half-mile track. I like that. I've got the one horse in every race. First race, pretty logical start. Number 1, Ace 44 Money. Number 3, Barstow Bell. First time Billy Budd on the 3 horse. And the 1, I thought it's been improving with each start. I think she'll even be better this time from the pole position. In the second race, going to spread out a bit because now we're dealing with 2-year-old trotters. And I'm using the 1 Northern Ironman, number 4 American Bliss K, who I think might be an interesting one in there. Number 7 Her Grace K, and number 8 Tioga Sunshine. Using some outside horses. Don't usually do that, but I think they merit that respect. In the third race, well, we're all in on number 1 Lions Euphoria, making the move from Mohawk Park to Grand River in this nominal is a 4,000 lifetime race for 2-year-old fillies. And moving out of that When You Wish Upon a Star series, which I thought was really, really deep this year. So I think she'll enjoy getting over here against this group tonight. Fourth race, 2 deep again with another 1-3, the 1 Lily's Penelope and the 3 Dry Creek Image. Dry Creek Image was a winner in this class last time. And Lily's Penelope has been racing really well lately, especially at that second by a neck finish at Georgian Downs in her latest pole position. Always a good spot too. And then in the last leg, the money leg, 3 deep. Number 1, Lady KDB. Number 3, Divine Deo. That's kind of a trend, isn't it? The 1 and 3. And then I'm going to use number 6, though, Whiskey to Wine. First start, Richard Moreau, one you have to consider, I think, might throw some value, especially on the pick 5 sequence. That ticket right there will cost you just $9.60 for 20 cents. So let's see what Mr. Gary Guy has mapped out for us tonight.
Well, starting in the first race, you know what? We have the same idea. Although I did pick the 3 to win the race, but we both have the 1 and 3. So we'll move to the second race. And we're kind of on board with the same idea, except for I have 1 less horse. So I did not include 4 American Bliss K. But do have the 1, 7, and 8. And you do see all the 1s in there. Race number 3. I have 1 Lions Euphoria to win the race. But I also added 4 Classic Venus. A winner here July the 30th, just in case 1 Lions Euphoria doesn't bounce back in here. I do think that's the one to beat, but I hedge just a little bit just to have one at a price because I think the one's going to be pretty chalky in that race. And in the fourth race, well, you have just a couple of horses, but I have actually gone four deep, so I have the 1 and 3 as you do. But I also have added number 6, Black Creek Rosebud. Winner last out, and one that I took on top, so I had to use Black Creek Rosebud again. And also number 9, Fly Santana, who might be able to get a trip on the back of 1, Lily's Penelope. And in the fifth race, I actually think that 6, Whiskey to Wine won't be value. I think that might be the favorite. And correction, 3, Divine Deo is the one that I'm worried about being the favorite, but Whiskey to Wine also should get a fair amount of action. So I went alone with 1, Lady Katie B. I know that's a little risky, but I think Lady Katie B might offer a bit of value because I think the money is going to go to the 3 and 6 in that race. So I'd be out if it doesn't go that way, a key in that race. We spent the same money, Rob, $9.60, but you know what I need to know is how many combinations do we have the same?
All right. Well, Gary, it's a good question, and I've already got it for you. We've got 12 combinations the same. So 12 chances that Gary and I can both cash a ticket this evening. And, of course, I'm cheering for that. We all know that I'm the team player of the duo. But, hey, look at that, though. We don't even talk about these tickets ahead of time. $9.60 on each side. And you know what? It's interesting because my dad said to me the one time when I got busted out of the pick 5 here at Grand River that I don't use the rail horse often enough. And I think subconsciously tonight maybe that was playing into it. But Gary has the same thing as well. We have the rail horse in every single race, so that's a good sign. Let's get to this opener, folks. We got 2-year-old fillies on the pace. Non-winners of 4,000 lifetime. And while I did go to number 1, Ace 44 money on top, I picked this horse 2 starts back in her lifetime debut. It was a pretty solid effort, closed into it nicely. And then, last time, even a better effort to finish second, beating a length to Shadowy, who turned in a really good performance. And this one was, kind of flying on the end of it. I think Ace 44 money is the one to beat in here, especially from that pole position. I think, they're going to have to the only question is gate speed, but the pole position creates gate speed sometimes. So I'm hoping she gets away better this time. Number 3, Barstow Bell is one that I really am intrigued by coming up from Hawthorne. Moving up north of the border now and into the care of Billy Budd. When you have to consider just based on that, really. Number 2, Better Deal. Loaded with speed, post 2. Right now, 8-1 on the board. You definitely a little bit of value on that one. And number 4, Lola Sunshine. One that I think might enjoy getting back here to Grand River. A little bit of a short price on that one right now at 4-1. Shorter than I'd be willing to take on a win ticket. But I do see that the rookie fillies are already moving on to the track. So we'll come back and talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field 4, race number 1 on Parade 1, Ace 44 money, Scott Colder, Steve Colder, and Cullen Densley Burrows. Number 2, Better Deal, Gino Toscani for Herb Holland, and Gino is also the owner. Number 3 is Barstow Bell, Cullen Kelly for Bill Budd and Harry Einfeld, and Curtis Spillman. Curtis Spillman. And number 4 is Lola's Sunshine, Austin Surrey for Scott McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst and Donald Douglas and Bradley McNiven. Number 6 is Lady O, Anthony Hunt for Gabriella Sasso and Jeffrey Corchans and Mart West Racing. And number 7 is Half Moon K, Paul McKenzie for Stephen Doyle and Christine Doyle and Henry Drong. And number 8 is Sonoa, it's Brett McDonald for Richard Morrow and Tess Waxman and Brenda Selwyn Waxman and Sally Peacock. Well, it is a first of 10 dashes set to go to post in just a couple of minutes. We'll quickly take a look at that field and we'll bring in TP Reed, Robert Reed Jr. And note to 1 Ace 44 money is on the board at even money. The one reason that I didn't take this one on top, and could be proven wrong because you mentioned the inside can sometimes make gate speed, I wasn't sure of the gate speed, Rob.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, Gary, for sure. It definitely is because You look at those two lines, post 3, post 4, both times was out of it by more than 10 lengths come the quarter pole, which, would give a pretty big uphill climb tonight if the same thing happens again. I'm just hoping that getting, that rail position is going to kind of create some speed for this one. Plus, it is her third start, in her career. So she's definitely maturing and she's showing more in each effort. So I'm hoping, maybe Scotty can get her off the gate tonight.
Number 3, Barstone Bell, first start for Bill Budd, and you do see some speed on the larger track. It's going to be interesting to see this one here. First start for Billy Budd north of the border. I think Colin Kelly is going to be sending this one, and you do see some gate speed.
Yeah, definitely. There's gate speed there for sure. And I like what she's doing right now on the track. She looks pretty sharp with her ears up. And Colin Kelly, has a firm hold over there after a bit of a score down. So I think that, this is one you need to consider. I love when horses move to the barn of Billy Budd. I just thought maybe the one might be a little too tough for this one tonight, and maybe we'd wait till this one gets back in our regular schedule. But the way she looks on the track right now, I understand why she's 2-1.
Number 2, Better Deal, is the one that we both used underneath the 1 and the 3. And Better Deal is one that obviously has some gate speed, has fired early in the last 3 starts. And Better Deal is one that, didn't finish the mile all that well last race, but it wasn't that bad either, beaten 2.5, and definitely could maybe build on that.
Yeah, I would think so. I looked at this one as one that I was a little bit worried of, to be honest, because post 2, I think we know the direction she's going off the gate. She's already proven she's loaded with speed. She only got beat 2.5 last time to Marilou. And Shadowy came back to win the next start. St. Lad's Bijou went down to race at Mohawk Park. So did Marilou. So those are pretty good form references. And I think that, if we see that early speed from this one again and the bias is back in play, might be tough to catch.
Number 4, Lola's Sunshine, Austin Sorey driving. One that doesn't show the recent form, but did face tougher in a few of those starts. And the one star here recently was post 8. But then if you go a little further back, you do see a second here, July the 14th at this track.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to go by. I think you're exactly right. You move down to those lower lines there because last time Mohawk Park against much tougher war, expat is, would be 1-9 against this group, and 8-hole here, 2 starts back, just toss that one out. So you've got to go down quite a ways before you see this one draw a good post here at Grand River, and it was a solid effort. So I'm just not sure how the trip goes tonight, but I think she's definitely one that should get a share of it.
And there's one we do have to at least take a look at because it is Brent McDonald and Richard Moreau, and is coming in off of a 55 and 1 mile with a good back half.
Yeah, when I originally looked at her snow, I thought, post 8 is going to be too difficult. Now it's from post 7. And sometimes in these 2-year-old races, we notice horses a little bit gapped off the gate or maybe not getting away as quick. So it's possible that maybe, she's able to get off the gate, decently from post 8. It's second start, Richard Moreau, and one that might be dangerous at a big price right now at 25-1.
25-1 on a Richard Moreau horse. And I tell you right now, I'm not thinking much about Sanoa, considering it's 27 Celsius, but at 25-1, there'd be a few pick 5 tickets hitting the floor. Let's get a look at this field taking up their positions. It is Ace 44 Money and Better Deal on the inside. Barstow Bell, Lola's Sunshine, and Lady O. In the center of the outside, Half Moon K and Sanoa. It is a field of 7. Race number 1, here they come. Field of 7, first dash on a marvelous Monday at the river. Here they come. Field 4, race number 1, is at the start and they're off, and Better Deal, Barstone Bell, Ace 44 Money along to the inside, and Lola's Sunshine, but Better Deal is able to come on and grab the lead, and still driving on the outside is Barstone Bell. Ace 44 Money is tight on the back of Better Deal, and now Barstone Bell is going to have to keep marching to the outside. Well back fourth is Lola's Sunshine, and way further back, Lady O, Sanoa, and Half Moon K is trailing the field. Barstone Bell and Colin Kelly has come on to get the lead and leads it right now by a couple of lengths, and Better Deal is second. Ace 44 Money is third. Lola's Sunshine is racing fourth, and then it is Lady O and Sanoa and Half Moon K. Barstone Bell at 2-1 leads on around the turn, is in front by 2. Better Deal second. A's 44 Money is racing third as they come off the turn, and Lola's Sunshine is racing fourth, and they race their way up towards the half. Barstone Bell as they roll on past the half off a 28-1 opening quarter. It is Barstone Bell on past the half and has a lead of a length and 3/4 over Better Deal, and they work their way on into the backstretch and racing third. A's 44 Money, but it is still Barstone Bell, Better Deal, and they race the backstretch with A's 44 Money third. Lola's Sunshine is fourth and now popping up from third. There goes A's 44 Money, being followed by Lola's Sunshine. Then it is Half Moon K and Sonoma. But hustling on to 3/4, Barstone Bell leads him. On the outside, A's 44 Money is getting some urging. Still has about 2 1/4 to make up. Inside third, Barstone Bell. Lola Sunshine fourth. And they march on by 3/4. 1:27-2. Barstone Bell, as they're about to turn from, A's 44 Money is getting threateningly close now. Better Deal down to the inside, and Lola Sunshine. It is Barstone Bell as they come on down the stretch ride. Barstone Bell has got this one sewn up now. Barstone Bell is going to win. And then A's 44 Money and Better Deal and Lola's Sunshine. We'll give you the time of the mile in a moment, but that was a sharp performance for Barstone Bell for start north of the border, Rob.
Yeah, Gary, that when you look at that, we kind of thought that the one might not be able to beat these ones off the gate. Still got away well, though. A's 44 Money still got away, reasonably well. Had to come first over, but we identified the speed correctly. Number 3, Barstow Bell, and Bill Budd first time is something that I am usually a big believer in, and kind of kicking myself for not putting this one on top. As a result of that, she looked good on the track, had her ears up, looked sharp, and then she raced the way that she looked. It was one that 2-1. Obviously took a lot of support as well. Glad I used her in my pick 5. Just wish I put her on top. And
it's not like Colin Kelly got a soft half. 57-4 is a good half for this field, and then a mile of 158-1. So Barstone Bell was full marks.
Definitely full marks, and one that can probably move on from this one with another better effort, because when you look at the time away, I mean, she hasn't raced since August the 7th, so if she gets back in a regular rotation, I thought she might be short tonight. Certainly didn't look short after that mile. Ace 44 Money did well to get second. It looks like a filly doesn't really get tired. She kept grinding right till the end. Better Deal, another one we thought we barred the speed, finishes third at 9-1, and Lola Sunshine, another one that we highlighted, ends up finishing fourth after following those ones around the racetrack.
It is a 3-1-2-4, and coming back in front of us, the winner of race 1, number 3, Barstone Bell, a 2-year-old sports writer bay filly, owned by Harry Einfeld and Curtis Spillum. Bill Budd is the trainer. Who's the best? Billy Budd's the best. Colin Kelly with the winning drive. It's the second win for Barstone Bell this year and lifetime. The first race payouts, number 3, Barstow Bell, 620, 310, 290. 1. A's 44 money, 220, 270, and 2 better deal, 430. A $2 exactor, $14.30 trifecta, $18.90 super, 39.55. Fans, here are 3 driver changes. Note in the third race, number 4, Classic Venus. Brett McDonald will drive. That is Brett McDonald driving 4 Classic Venus in the third. In race number 4, number 5, Mostly Dally, it will be Austin Sorey. Austin Sorey drives 5 Mostly Dally in the fourth. And race number 5, number 4, Century Harlot, it'll be Colin Kelly. Colin Kelly drives 4 Century Harlot in the fifth. The first race will finish from the top, 2, 3, 1. 4 scratch 7, 5, 6. That's 2, 3, 1, 4 scratch 7, 5, 6.
All right. Well, Gary and I both still trucking on our pick 5 wagers. Hopefully you are too. Let's turn the page, go to race number 2. This time around, it's 2-year-old trotters. Sometimes those races can be a little more tricky. This is for non-winners of 5,000 life. And in this one, I went to number 1, Northern Ironman, who now gets Scott Coulter aboard to drive. And, this one here last time made a break in stride in the Prospect Series at Kawartha Downs. But before that, racing in the OSS Grassroots in Sarnia, went to the lead from this same post position tonight, had a comfortable lead throughout before getting beat by 2 lengths in 4th to Stonebridge Zeus. So I think that Northern Ironman is one that certainly shows that he can get away off the gate well from this spot, which is a tricky spot sometimes for young trotters. And I think maybe that's what we'll see tonight. We might see this one go to the lead, with Scott Coulter aboard for Rob Fellows. I've got, looks like I'm lone wolfing it with Northern Ironman on top, and only Gary puts that one in his top 4 as well. So going alone on that one, but I'm okay with that. And then in for second, I did go to number 8, Tioga Sunshine, who right now is taking all the money at 6-5. And I understand why. Nice effort last time, second to Global News at Hanover. That was from post 2, though, in a grassroots division. And before that, post 7 at Georgian, which is even, better than the starting spot that she has tonight. Ended up finishing 5th. Now, it does face easier, but post 8 is no joke here, folks. It's not an easy spot for any horse to get, down to the inside from, let alone a 2-year-old filly trotter. So I used this one in for second. I think she's got a big chance. 6-5, much too short of a price for me. The one I found very interesting is number 4, American Bliss K. 2 starts back, took a lot of money at Georgian Downs on August the 8th, and then it ended up going off around 10-1, but broke stride behind the gate. Never was able to really get into the race. Then the next start, got away 8th from the 5 hole, and got beat by a wide margin. That was both a Georgian, and just one that I think might be one that might try to leave out or get away well tonight from post 4 here. 12-1 on the board, taking some support. Now 9-1. American Bliss K is one that I'm intrigued by. I put in the 3rd spot, but had to have on my pick 5 ticket because I think he's got a pretty good chance in here. Number 7, Her Grace K for Paul Reed, doing the training and driving on this one. Another one coming out of the grassroots divisions and finished second by a wide margin, 2 back to Felt Tip Marker, and raced in a gold even. So Paul thought enough of this one to put her in a gold, and that alone should make her a big time contender in here coming to Grand River in this non-winners of 5,000 life event for 2-year-olds. So Her Grace K right now 4-1 on the board. Difficult post, but definitely one that has a chance. I see they're moving on to the track, though. We'll come back and talk about this one a little more with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field for the second race on Parade 1 Northern Ironman. It is Scott Coulter for Robert Fellows and Yolanda Fellows, Blair Corbeil and Patrick Dillon and Arpad Szabo. And number 2 is Take a Peek at Me, Brian Dunbar for John Sinclair. Number 3 is Wanya, Blair Burgess, driving and training for Corinne Olsen Burgess and Clay Harland Horner and David Anderson and Sterling Fisher. 4 is American Bliss K, Alvin Hamilton, drives and trains and owns. And number 5 is Promise for Life, Rene Dion for RAW Equine and S&R Racing. Number 6, Ballroom Brawl Boys, Gino Toscani for Herb Holland. Number 7, Her Grace K, Paul Reed, drives and trains and owns. And 8 is Tioga Sunshine, Travis Henry for Harry Bolton and the stable. Field of 8 for race number 2. We get maiden trotters to take a look at here, and we are going to start with Rob's top pick, who is currently 4-1 on the board. And certainly we see some gate speed on this one and the inside, so you got to like those reasons. The one thing I don't like, Rob, though, that break last time out, that concerns me that Scotty might be a little more careful with this one leaving. We'll see how it goes. 4-1, though, a fair price.
Yeah, the price is really fair on Northern Ironman right now, 9-2 in the board, and looking pretty good on the track. His ears up. Looks like got some pep in his step now, scoring down the backside. I think that you hit the nail on the head. The speed two starts back. You should be good enough to get the lead here. Now down to 2-1 though. Yeah, the break's the concern. I like the way he looks on the track right now. And 5/8 track at Sarnia is a lot different than the half here at Grand River, that's for sure. But if this one does stays flat, I think that he's a big time player in here.
Number 8, Tioga Sunshine, was at 2-1 just a moment ago. Now is floated up to 4-1, but that's still fairly low. But it's one that was racing in the grassroots, and a good second. Hanover grassroots 2:04 and 3, a decent last mile. Tough post though.
Yeah, I think that Tioga Sunshine is one that if she had drawn inside, she'd probably be my top selection in here. But post 8 is extremely difficult for any horse here at Grand River Raceway, and she's just a 2-year-old filly, and maybe there's some gaps, or horses that break off the gate where she can get down into a favorable spot. I'm just not so sure that's going to happen in here. And for me, 4-1, it's getting towards the right price, but I might need around 6-1 before I bet her to win.
Number 4, American Bliz K. You've got this one in your pick 5, and if the price stays where it is, your pick 5 ticket could be large. American Bliz K didn't leave last time out, but that was the first start after making a break before the start, so maybe American Bliz K will leave a little bit.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. I thought that 2 starts back, this one took a lot of money. I thought looked good on the track on that occasion. Went off at just under 10-1 in a race that Elb won. I'll tell you, I would be more than happy to take Elb in here because that's both those efforts are against older horses, right? That's something that you need to consider as well. And then last time getting beat by a wide margin in 7th, but again against older horses again, and some pretty decent ones in there. So this one right now, 40-1. One that I would definitely not leave off my exotics, and maybe even try a flyer on a win ticket if the price stays that high.
There's number 7, Her Grace K, and this one was definitely okay at Grand River in a grassroots, Georgia in a grassroots 2 races ago. The winner was long gone, but still the mile was 2 minutes and 4, and then raced incredibly in a grassroots at Hanover last race. Tough post, but does look like one that belongs with serious consideration.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that as well because you look 2 back, second to felt tilt marker and a wide margin, but it's a pretty good form reference still. Even considering they put this one in a gold on July the 6th, I mean it's not free to enter those races, so you've got to think highly of your filly to put her in there, and against horses like Adair Castle, it would be 1 to a million in here if that was possible, their parimutuel system. So I understand why she's taking support down to 2-1 right now, and I think on paper it warrants that respect. However, 07, right? So we're talking about 2 fillies right now. I have them both in my pick 5, but it's pretty hard, to imagine we got 2 2-year-old fillies at 2-1 and 4-1 with post 7 and 8.
And one we have to touch on because Ken Middleton used 6 Barroom Brawl Boys on top, 22-1, and does show some gate speed. We'll see if the move over here works for Ballroom Brawl Boys.
And we've seen a lot of horses make the move from Mohawk Park over here to Grand River against softer competition and enjoy much better results. Facing against much tougher over there on the bigger surface, I think we might see this one fire out. We've seen speed from Barroom Brawl Boys before. 21-1 is a big price on that one as well.
Well, that would certainly be a pick 5 buster as well, along with your 4 American Bliss K, who's 25-1. But your top one Northern Ironman is sitting at 3-2 right now, and I have 7 Her Grace K, my top choice, at 5-2. Taking up positions, Northern Ironman, and Take a Peek at Me, and Wanya on the inside of the center. American Bliss K, Promise for Life to the outside. Barroom Brawl Boys and Her Grace K and Tioga Sunshine. Field of 8, second race. Maiden Trotters at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Field for the second race. is at the start of the rough, and Wanya is going to leave well. Take a Peek at Me has gone off stride. Promise for Life is promising early, and Barroom Brawl Boys is on the outside driving, and along to the inside, racing a third now is Wanya. But now it is Her Grace K who's going to come on and take third. Northern Ironman went off stride, and Her Grace K is looking to find his seat along the pylons, and now is third on the pylons, and racing fourth is Wanya, and then it is Tioga Sunshine. And American Blizz K is currently racing sixth, but right now it is Promise for Life, and Barroom Brawl Boys is racing second. Then it is Her Grace K and Wanya and Tioga Sunshine, and back to American Blizz K. They raced past the opening quarter, and the quarter was 29-4, and it is Promise for Life who's off to a promising start. Her Grace K, not so much, because made a break in stride. So now it is Promise for Life who's leading Barroom Brawl Boys and is in front by 3. Racing third is Wanya, Tioga Sunshine fourth, and Her Grace K recovered but lost some ground and is racing fifth. And they work their way past the half and into the backstretch, and it is still Promise for Life with the lead. Barroom Brawl Boys is racing second. The half was 1 minute and 2/5, and on down the backstretch, Wanya third. Then it's about 7 or 8 lengths back to Tioga Sunshine and Her Grace K and American Blizz, but it is still Promise for Life. Promise for Life, and Rennie Dion leads as they march up the 3/4, and on the outside now, Wanya is moving up and taking over second and grabbing it from Barroom Brawl Boys. Those three have separation from the rest of the field, but Promise for Life is still moving well and is in front by about 3, but closing is Wanya. Down to the inside, Barroom Brawl Boys is still there on the hunt. On down the stretch route they come, and Promise for Life gets a little urging, but still has a cushion. It is going to be Promise for Life who's going to take this one off that 3/4, 1:30-4. Wanya was second, then Barroom Brawl Boys and Her Grace K. The top of the mile, we'll give you that in just a moment, but Promise for Life, that was a very promising effort for Promise for Life and Rennie Dion. 5th lifetime start, off a break last time out, but certainly showed no designs to make a break in this one.
Yeah, another one that comes over from Mohawk Park to face easier here at Grand River. And, you know, Gary, sometimes you just see a race completely wrong, and that's what I can say with that one for me. I couldn't have been more wrong and more off on that race.
Well, we're in the same boat, because my top 3 were 7, 8, 1. So we're both riding in the same canoe, and it's a canoe that didn't have any top ones in the front 3 here. But look at that Promise for Life. That was a very fine performance, and was also able to leave. The key is the gate speed, and you did see the gate speed racing in the Prospect Series at Kawartha last time out before making that break.
Yeah, it was a nice winner, and that one, Rolling in Clover, was the winner on that occasion, and this one was sitting a decent trip before making the break in stride. Yeah, I certainly didn't see this one coming out and doing this tonight, but Rennie Dion was able to A, keep this one trotting and staying on his gate, and B, wow, what a good performance right to the front, and just keep on trucking on the front end. So solid performance from Promise for Life, and and one that might be able to now build on that effort after finding the winner's circle tonight.
And note that the inquiry pertains to number 7, Her Grace K, who was reasonably well positioned, but then made a break in stride. And Her Grace K, that's the subject of the inquiry. But I did like a Promise for Life. Anything else that you saw in that race that something to make a note of?
It's just, to be honest, it was kind of a tough race for that. I think Wanya was one that kind of impressed me, moved pretty well late in the mile, and after getting beat 20.5 lengths in her debut last time, or his debut last time, sorry, I think that maybe he's one to watch for next time for Blair Burgess. Other than that, it was kind of difficult because there were so many breakers, to be honest.
And number 6, Barroom Brawl Boys, Ken Middleton's top pick, actually raced pretty credibly. Did drop back to third, but 5-1 on the board. 7, Her Grace K recovered from that break. Finished fourth is the subject of the inquiry and is 9-2 on the board. But back in front of us is number 5, Promise for Life, a 2-year-old Royalty for Life bay colts, owned by RAW Equine and S&R Racing. Rennie Dion is the trainer and the winning driver. Promise for Life, 2-0-1-4. First career win. Once again, fans, note the judges reviewing that break in stride of number 7, Her Grace K. Sitting third right now. Fans, the judges ruling that there were no violations of the braking regulations, the inquiry sign will go off. The second race payouts. Number 5, Promise for Life, 1140, 730, and 550. 3 Wanya, 920, and 360, and 6 Barroom Brawl Boy, 650. $2 Exactor, $168. Dollar Try, $625, and the Dollar Superfecta, $2,259. The second race, order of finish from the top, 672-81345. That's 672-81345.
All right, folks. Well, Gary and I both busted out of the pick five. Hopefully, you are still alive and kicking. But guess what? If you're not, might as well play the early pick four, which starts here in race number 3. And we've got rookies again. This time, 2-year-old fillies on the pace. Non-winners of 4,000 life. I'm going to be on the favorite on here from the pole position. Number 1, Lions Euphoria. I certainly think she's going to end up being the favorite anyways. Even money right now on the board. And this filly was racing in the Win You Wish Upon a Star series. The first leg, she finished 8th, beaten 10 3/4 lengths. In a compact field in the second leg, she ended up finishing 3rd. Didn't get beat too much, but it was much easier competition in that leg. In the final, got beat by a wide margin, but look at some of the horses she's racing against. Balance, I Love On Gate. Those horses would be massive, massive favorites in this race here tonight in the non-winners of 4,000 event. So I think Lions Euphoria is the logical horse and clearly the one to beat. And I think, as long as she handles the tighter turns here at Grand River, we'll see her go towards the front or to the front in that first turn and just, be able to maybe win it on the engine. I see everyone's on board with her as their top selection. So we'll probably see her go off even at a shorter price than that even money on the board right now. And for second, which is number 7, Keepsake. And Keepsake is an interesting one for me. And if she didn't have post 7, I don't know if I would have put her ahead of Lions Euphoria. Now down to post 6, though, with the scratch number 5. Actually, down to post 5 with 2 scratches inside of her. So even better for Keepsake. Last time, she sat a decent trip until one actually tired in front of her and basically took her out of contention. So she ended up finishing 6, beaten 5, but don't discredit her for that because she was essentially taken out of the race. So I think the Keepsake's got a bigger chance than the 5-to-1 on the board right now, and one that, for me is my clear second choice in the race. In for third, number 4, Classic Venus, who last time took on tougher at Mohawk Park. Do It for Josie was a winner in there. And then even Galleria Sealster here was a pretty solid winner when she finished 4th, beating 8 lengths. Keepsake did beat her on that occasion, though. Keep that in mind. And there was a winner here at Grand River on July the 30th. So I think you have to consider number 4, Classic Venus. And right now, 30-to-1 on that one seems a little bit crazy, to be perfectly honest. And then in for the 4th spot, number 6, She's a Sharp Shooter, because I think we're probably going to see her go to the front again. And we've already seen her race well when, blasting out. Granted, they were from inside posts, but she finished 3rd here, 2 back in doing that. And I think we might see something similar to that again tonight, even, from an outside draw, but it's not so outside anymore from post 4 with those 2 scratches. So I think you need to use She's a Sharp Shooter somewhere in your ticket. But this is the start of the early pick 4, and we'll take a closer look at this race with Gary Guy in just a few moments.
Field for the third on parade. 1, Lions Euphoria. Austin Surrey for Anthony Beaton and 3 Lions Racing. 2 is Rats, 3, JMR Sporty Mel. Jason Ryan for Harold Wilson and JMR Racing. Number 4 is Classic Venus. Brett McDonald for Scott McEnany and Bradley Grant. Number 6, She's a Sharpshooter. Gino Toscani for Herb Holland. Gino's also the owner. Number 7, Keepsake. Colin Keller for Kyle Bossens and Ralph Jardine and Tamara Vanderweel. And number 8 is Shadow McGuire. Scott Culver, Stacey Curry, and Brenda Selwyn Waxman. Field of 6 for race number 3. Let's get a look at this field. We're going to start down on the inside. The 2 to 5 Lions Euphoria. And I don't think there's any question that this one has gate speed, but now you get to see this one also firing out, and you do see a 27-3 opening quarter when you look down the page. There's Lions Euphoria, Rob, and looking sharp right now.
Yeah, I think we know where Austin Story's going to be putting this one with this score down for Lions Euphoria. Scoring down in a big way, and I think we're going to see that again when the word go is given. Lions Euphoria, she's been racing against so much tougher. She really has been. And if you go even further down, she wasn't too far off in those non-winners of one races, at Mohawk Park before moving to the When You Wish Upon a Star. So I think that she's clearly the one to beat in here, and it might come down to her having to beat herself in order to not find the winner's circle.
Your second choice, number 7, Keepsake, and my second one is Classic Venus. You mentioned the Keepsake beat Classic Venus. I want to throw in that the difference was only 3/4 of a length 2 races ago. Now, the thing to note, Classic Venus had post 1 in that one, and Keepsake had the trailer post, so that is a little bit of a difference in terms of Keepsake doing it from a tougher post position. But Keepsake is one that, it's Colin Kelly and Kyle Boston's strong connections.
Definitely. And last time, she got a nice trip until she had one stop in front of her. She essentially got taken out of the race. And, post 7 was the big concern for me tonight, and that's now alleviated a little bit by moving down to post 5 with 2 scratches. I think 13 to 1 is tremendous value on her. I'm not sure she can beat the 1 Lions Euphoria, but I think she's one that you have to have on your ticket because, the line last week is deceiving. She was much better than it appears on paper.
Now, there's only one in here that has a win. That's for Classic Venus. You get Brent McDonald with the catch drive. Certainly the last race in grassroots at Mohawk, not great, but that win here, and then, as we mentioned, finishing 4th in front of Keepsake, who was behind Keepsake, who was 3rd. Classic Venus also is one that's got gate speed and now post 3.
Yeah, Classic Venus, I would say, last time, obviously the grassroots do it for Josie, much tougher. Now getting back to the track that she did, break her maiden on July the 30th. I do think that, 7-1 on the board looks like pretty decent value right now. I'm less intrigued by her as I am Keepsake because I thought that, Keepsake did get the better of this one when they did meet. And then last time, the troublesome journey for Keepsake, I thought was one that is worth looking at for value. But Classic Venus is definitely one of the contenders in here. But I think they're all going to have to put their running shoes on to catch Lions Euphoria.
Number 6, She's a Sharpshooter, is one that, maybe in the initial handicapping you might not have liked as much from post 6, but now it'll be post 4. This one's got gate speed, probably firing early.
Yeah, I would think so. We saw it in 2 efforts here at Grand River, and even last time getting away in the 2 hole. And I think that going to the front here, good things happen when you leave. And now leaving from post 4 as opposed to post 6, even more likely that she's going to be rocking to the front. And you never know what can happen if she gets left alone out there. I do think Lions Euphoria will either have the lead ahead of her into the turn or come back around her. But I think, it's wise to think that she will be forwardly placed.
And number 8, Shadow McGuire, 5 to 1 on the board. One that we have to touch on because although it's a tougher post, now it'll be post 6 and second career start. And look at Stacy Curry's barn. 29 starters this year, 12 winners. So you do have to factor the 8 in possibly.
Yeah, and again, you're now post 6, right, instead of post 8. So a lot of the times now you look at these races and you say, okay, well, they've got the 7-hole, 8-hole. Not really because there's 2 scratches, and it looks pretty good on the track right now to rate Shadow McGuire. So one that you have to consider in the exotics.
Well, we're going to find out how the third race unfolds. It is a field of 6 with the scratches of 2 and 5, and with their positions, Lions Euphoria, the 4 to 5 favorite to the inside. JMR Sporty Mel in the center, Classic Venus, and She's a Sharpshooter. On the outside, Keepsake and Shadow McGuire. Field 4, race number 3, into the stretch drive, gathering speed. Here they come. There at the start of the round. Lions Euphoria on the inside. Classic Venus. There goes She's a Sharpshooter on the outside. Lions Euphoria and She's a Sharpshooter. And then Classic Venus is third away. Racing fourth is JMR Sporty Mel. And then it is back to Keepsake and Shadow McGuire. And She's a Sharpshooter shot right out to get the lead at 9-1. Lions Euphoria, the 1-5 favorite, is racing second, 2 from the front right now. And Classic Venus is third. JMR Sporty Mel is fourth, and then Keepsake and back to Shadow McGuire, who trails this compact field of 6 as they race their way past the opening quarter. It's a 28-3 opening quarter. She's a Sharpshooter. Now Lions Euphoria moves up a little closer in the pocket, but still a length and 3/4 back. And then it is Classic Venus, JMR Sporty Mel, and Keepsake, and then Shadow McGuire. They roll off the turn. The field comes on towards us. And it is Gino Costantini with She's a Sharpshooter who's got the front. Lions Euphoria racing second, up closer in the pocket now. And Classic Venus is third, off a 28-3 opening quarter, 59-3 is the halftime. That's a 31-second second panel breather for She's a Sharpshooter. But Lions Euphoria doesn't want to sit the pocket any longer and is going to pop to the outside and try to tackle She's a Sharpshooter. That lead is diminishing. It's down to half a length. Racing third is Classic Venus, and fourth is JMR Sporty Mel. Then Keepsake and Shadow McGuire, and they roll on towards 3/4. It is She's a Sharpshooter. Lions Euphoria right alongside. Now Lions Euphoria, the 1-5 favorite, 6-0 in front, but She's a Sharpshooter isn't done. And on the inside, reclaims a lead of a half a length. On the outside, Lions Euphoria. Classic Venus is moving up tight on the back of She's a Sharpshooter. There goes JMR Sporty Mel, who's driving hard to the outside. JMR Sporty Mel is coming quickest of all, trying to track down She's a Sharpshooter. They come on down the stretch ride, and JMR Sporty Mel is looking very sporty now, striding away on the field. JMR Sporty Mel wins it. She's a Sharpshooter was second. Then third looked like Classic Venus over Lions Euphoria, but JMR Sporty Mel at 9-1 got the job done, Robert.
Yeah, very interesting race the way it all panned out, wasn't it, Gary? Yeah, JMR Sporty Mel ends up emerging victorious and doing so by, a pretty easy margin on the end of it. Just cruising away from her rivals at the wire there. And the speed was set by She's a Sharpshooter as we expected it would be. And that one ended up finishing second. Austin Story did try to move Lions Euphoria, to the lead, at the time that I thought was probably the right time to pull, to be perfectly honest. And it just didn't work out. I thought she was going to cruise right by, and then she maybe had some trouble pacing for a few steps that kind of took away any chance she had. But I don't know if it would have beat JMR Sporty Mel anyways, even if she did stay clean with her strides.
I was a little concerned at the time that the one popped out, only because the 6 She's a Sharpshooter did pick up that 31-second second panel breather, which allowed her to be pretty brave. But also, you have to really respect how She's a Sharpshooter raced, because was able to not only turn back one Lions Euphoria, but finish second at 9-1.
Yeah, She's a Sharpshooter is an interesting one, and one that we were, discussing as again, the likely leader, and one that has been sticking around for shares. Finished third here, 2 starts back. When she finished through the twinkle in her eye, and I thought she was one that could land on the ticket. I wasn't expecting her to finish second, that's for sure, and I obviously thought Lions Euphoria would be the winner in here, but it didn't work out that way. Nice drive, though, by Jason Ryan to pick up the pieces and win on JMR Sporty Mel.
And for Classic Venus finishing a third at 5-1, so with the favorite out of the try ticket, the try should pay nicely. Back in front of us is the winner of race number 3. It is number 3, JMR Sporty Mel, a 2-year-old sports redder brown filly, owned by JMR Racing. Harold Wilson, the trainer, Jason Ryan, Ricky Bobby, the winning try. It's the first win for JMR Sporty Mel in her 4th career start. The third race payouts, 3 GMR Sporty Mel, pays 20.69, 10 and 5.60. 6 She's a Sharpshooter, 10.60 and $4. And 4 Classic Venus, $3.60. $2 Exactor, $173.20. The Dollar Try, $268.25. The Dollar Super, $517. Third race, so we're finished from the top. Say 4 scratch 1, 3 scratch 2, 5, 6. That's 4 scratch 1, 3 scratch 2, 5, 6.
All right, folks. Well, another tough one for this handicapper. Hopefully, you had the winner. We're going to turn the page to race 4. We've got Philly Mares claimers, $7,000. This is a condition claimer, but this is on the other side of the fence. It's for winners over $1,499 last 5. So it's a condition claimer for horses that have been racing well as of late. And this one, I went to number 3, Dry Creek Image. And why? Well, she was a winner in this class last time. She's had a 2-hole trip from the pole position and ended up being a nice winner on the end of it, winning by a length and a half. And one that you have to consider whenever she gets into this level here at Grand River. She was racing well earlier in the summer, and then rebounded with a real nice effort last time to get the job done, by a pretty decent margin. Travis Henry, back aboard again tonight. He drove her to victory last time. I think she's going to be tough to beat. But, if you're looking for alternatives, actually right now 3-1 on the board is also a real fine price on number 3, Dry Creek Image. If you're looking for alternatives, number 1, Lily's Penelope, raced pretty well at Georgian Downs last time, had the pole position, again, has the rail again tonight, so similar starting spot. And then, went to the lead, held it for a long time throughout that mile before only getting beat by a neck on the end of it in a open $7,000 claimer. And I think... she should have every chance again here tonight and should be flashing that early speed. If you look at her last 3, she went to the front from post 2, she went to the front from the rail, and now, in 2 starts back had post 8 and got away 6. So you cross out the one from post 8, she's been going to the front frequently. So Lily Penelope is an obvious threat to the number 3 Dry Creek Image, and one you have to consider in here. Number 4, April Bandit. One that I find intriguing because last time had post 8, got away 9th, ended up closing up positions and closing the margin, from 11 1/4 lengths of the quarter pole to getting beat just 3.5 on the end of it. That was at 57-1. Not going to get that price tonight, but you're also going to get a much better post from post 4. So, April Bandit's one that I think, when she's on her game, she can certainly do in here. She's got 41 wins lifetime, and not one you want to leave off your exotics, that's for sure. Only 1 for 12 this season, but maybe she's kind of warming up to a better effort again and drawing a better post. She's got 2 8-holes in her last 4. And just one I think you need to use on your trifecta and superfecta at least. And then number 6, Black Creek Rosebud. This is one that, racing for Chris Haskell and Colin Kelly, was a winner last time in a condition claimer of the other variety, now in against horses that have been higher earners in their last 5. So I think that, the post is a little more difficult this time, and maybe the class is as well, but not one you want to rule out at 5-1 on the board. The Philly Mares are making their way onto the track right now. We'll be back in just a few moments to look at this race a little further with Gary Guy.
Field for the 4th on parade. 1, Lily's Penelope. Jay Harris for Sheldon Rose. Number 2, Ask For Me. Brett McDonough for Ruth Moore and James Hasty. Number 3, Dry Creek Image. Travis Henry for Joe Pereira. 4 is April Bandit. Scott Coulter for Paul Coulter. And 5 is Mostly Dally. Austin Sorry for Bud Sinclair and Lisa DeRoche and Craig Parrott. Number 6 is Black Creek Rosebud. Colin Kelly for Chris Haskell. And Ken Calhoun and Ben Brathwell and Tanner Glanville. Number 7 is Toriel. James Barton drives and trains and owns. 9 is Fly Santana. Travis Cullen for Avery Longstreet. It is a field of 8 with the scratch in this dash of number 8, Show Me Some Magic. Let's quickly get a look at this field, and we're going to start right there with number 3, Dry Creek Image, and one that won last time out. Now, one thing that I did hold against this mare, but not greatly so, Rob, was does have a wee bit of a case of seconditis. If you look in the last 2 seasons, 11 runner-up finishes and 5 wins. But last race was full marks and a win here in 56-2.
Yeah, I think that's a valid concern because if you look back, you've got 11 runner-up finishes out of those 40 starts over the last 2 seasons, but does have 18 wins lifetime. I thought the last effort was a real good one, and if we go back earlier, in the summer here, she produced some really nice outings as well. So 5-2 right now. I'll be honest, I thought she'd take more support than she is right now because I don't know if we're going to see much of a different trip from this one tonight. I think she's going to move forward off the gate, try to get forwardly placed, and maybe sit a trip again, and maybe come right back and win 2 in a row. And 3-1 looks like a pretty appealing price.
Number 1, Lily's Penelope is not an appealing price, my top pick. And one that doesn't have a win yet this year, so 4-5 and one that doesn't have a win yet this year, but was really good at Georgian Downs last race, went to the front, second beaten a neck. And I think Lily's Penelope does make the front. You see a 26-3 opening quarter, July the 4th at Georgian Downs. Now, in that one, actually tailed off badly, but 26-3 is the reason why. And also you saw this one at Kawartha go to the front in 27-4 and stick around for a very competitive third. Last race was solid at Georgian. I like Lily's Penelope. I don't like 4-5.
Yeah, the price right now is tough to swallow on one that's 0 for 11 this season. Does have 26 lifetime wins and almost 128,000 in the bank in her career. The last effort was a good one. Got beat by a neck. Battled a long way, but at the same time, you see a few other lines there that you say maybe she should have closed those ones out, especially the one I would say at Kawartha when she had the lead and ended up finishing third. So I'd be concerned backing this one on even money right now. I think that's too short of a price, but I think Jay Harris is a good fit for this mare, and she's going to be pointed towards the lead.
Number 4, April Bandit, might be the sleeper in here because if this was last year, she'd be the favorite right now. She was 20 out of 26 in the top 3. It's been a little lighter this year, but that last race might be a sign of things to come. And she was pretty solid here 2 races ago. April Bandit is one that, Scott Coulter and Paul Coulter offering 6-1.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's the wild card in here maybe right now at 6-1. Was hoping for a bigger price on this one. I pegged her in for third. I think she looks good on the track right now. We've seen this mare jump up with some pretty big efforts. She's 12 years old now and 41 wins in her career and over 190,000 made. I believe that if she brings her best on any night, she might be able to beat this bunch. How does the trip work out tonight? Better than last time, that's for sure, when she had post 8. Just not, too sure, what kind of trip scenario she gets with Dry Creek Image and Lily's Penelope both likely moving forward off the gate and being the main players in here. I would not leave April Bandit anywhere off my exotics. She's taking a lot of support right now, dropping down to a price of 5-1.
Number 6, Black Creek Rosebud. I expect a little more out of Black Creek Rosebud than you do in this race, and use this one for 4th. I used the Black Creek Rosebud for 3rd, but I actually expect her to have a chance to win. This was a 9-time winner in 27 starts last year, and races for a strong barn, and could have more confidence from that last race as well. Is moving up.
Yeah, definitely moving up. I think that we underestimate that this is a pretty big step up in class. Winners over from a non-winners of condition claimer. I think for me she's a minor share horse. But who knows, Gary? Maybe you're right. Maybe she plays a bigger part of it.
And we had the 9 Fly Santana on the screen because should get a trip on the back of Lily's Penelope. 9-1 on the board. Rob, sometimes if you like the 1, you could like the 9. Just a little handicapping tip I thought I'd throw your way. Let's get a look at this field and behind the gate for race number 4. Lily's Penelope, Ask For Me, and Dry Creek Image on the inside of the center. April Bandit and Mostly Dally to the outside. Black Creek Rosebud and Toriel, the second tier. Fly Santana. Field for the 4th race is at the start of the rough. Lily's Penelope, Ask For Me. April Bandit leaves on the outside, and then scooting through on the inside, Fly Santana is on the back of Lily's Penelope. Black Creek Rosebud is still charging on the outside, and racing 4th is Ask For Me. Then 5th is Dry Creek Image, and then it is back to April Bandit and Mostly Dally and Toriel. Lily's Penelope has got the lead. Black Creek Rosebud was able to tuck into the pocket, and Fly Santana is racing 3rd. River. Ask for Me is fourth away. Then Dry Creek Image and April Bandit, and then mostly Dally and Toriel. But Lily's Penelope 27-2. It was a solid opening quarter, and Black Creek Rosebud is right there with a few in the pocket, and then it is Fly Santana third. Ask for Me is racing fourth as they come off the turn, and then it is Dry Creek Image now, who's already moved to the outside. Then it is back to April Bandit and the trailing pair, mostly Dally and Toriel. Lily's Penelope looking for that second panel breather of a 27-2 opening quarter, and they head up towards the 5/8. That second split was 30-2. It's a 57-4 halftime. Lily's Penelope, Fly Santana challenging first over. Black Creek Rosebuds to the inside third, and then on the outside as they race into the backstretch, it is Dry Creek Image now, who's about 2 1/4 off the lead, but right now it is Lily's Penelope trying to fend off Fly Santana. Black Creek Rosebud's been getting the trip. Dry Creek Image is spotted second over. April Bandit is racing fifth. Then Ask for Me and Toriel, and back to mostly Tally. Fly Santana tight slim lead of about a head, but on the inside, Lily's Penelope is fighting back gamely, and Black Creek Rosebud may be alive, sitting in the pocket, and then Dry Creek Image is going to roll out 3 wide. They turn on down the lane. Lily's Penelope and Fly Santana, and flying up the inside comes Black Creek Rosebud. It is Fly Santana. Black Creek Rosebud up the inside wins it, and then 3 across the track for second between Fly Santana, Dry Creek Image, and on the outside mostly Dally 157-4. Black Creek Rosebud was able to handle the tougher class and handle it up the passing lane. Rob, the trip didn't hurt.
Well, the trip certainly did not hurt. Perfect steer by Colin Kelly, and as soon as he got clearance of the passing lane, she exploded, and it was a nice move on the outside there too by number 5, mostly Dolly. Just saw the replay of the stretch there, and she was absolutely flying on the end of it. But no, Black Creek Rosebud. I mean, listen, this is not an easy transition, folks. You go from the condition claimer for non-winners of to now the the winners over is not an easy transition, and she certainly passed that test with flying colors.
There you also see number 9, Fly Santana, finishing second. And I didn't give you a chance to respond to my quip about taking the 1 and the 9. But Fly Santana, that was a very credible mile. And Fly Santana is one to put on your watch list.
Yeah, I would think so. It was a real tough trip that one got, and she stayed game right till the very end. The start before I thought was a decent one. Wasn't really sure what to make of it. Well, I guess now I do. She's definitely, the real deal off that effort 2 back, and came right back with another solid effort to be the runner-up once again.
Yeah, Lily's Penelope got that second panel breather, but could not fend off Fly Santana. Lily's Penelope finishes off the ticket after 5-2. The odds on 3 did drop down. Dry Creek Image to 8-5, but your ticket will be helped by Fly Santana at 8-1 and 5, mostly Dally at 7-1. Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 4. It is number 6. Black Creek Rosebud, 5-year-old Surlock Bay mare, owned by Ken Haskell and Tanner Glanville, and Ken Calhoun and Ben Rathwell. Chris Haskell, the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning drive. It's the 3rd win this year, 18th lifetime for Black Creek Rosebud. The fourth race payouts, 6 Black Creek Rosebud, $17, 710. 490, 9 Fly Santana, 560 and 350 and 5, mostly Deli, 540. $2 exactor, 106.70. Dollar try, 289.55. The dollar super, 845.15. The fourth race, order of finish from the top, 5847316 scratch 2. That's 5847316 scratch 2.
All right, folks. Well, it's time to look at race number 5. It's the money leg of those pick 5 wagers. And guess what? There's only 3 of them that are paying, which means there are 6 possibilities to see a carryover. Our shortest price on the ones that are paying is number 1, Lady KDB at $852. And then the other ones are obviously paying substantially more payouts on the 3 and the 4. The rest of them would all produce a carryover. So might have a carryover situation. You never know. But let's take a look at this race number 5 a little closer. It is the start of the pick 3, fillies and mares, non-winners of 15,000 lifetime. And I did go to number 3, Divine Deo on top right now at 4-1. I thought this one, should love getting, back to Grand River after racing at Mohawk Park last time from the 9 hole. No chance really in that effort, getting away last off the gate. And then when you look 2 starts back here at Grand River, did face off against a pretty tough OSS grassroots group. And it was a day that you had to be on the front end on Industry Day to get any piece of it. And she was not. She ended up going an overland journey and only missed by a nose 3 back in a maiden race over at Mohawk Park. So I think Divine Deo is one you have to consider in here. And maybe we'll see this one forwardly placed from the 3 hole and maybe even sent to the front. And 4-1 right now, I'd say that's the value on the board. If you were looking to bet one to win. And for second, number 1, Lady KDB, nice effort last time in this class from the same post position. One that you can't really knock. And last time paid out at 4-5, and maybe this time 6-5 or so is the right price. But I would say that Lady KDB, got things her own way last time. Maybe that won't happen this time. I see her as a big-time win candidate, but I'm looking for more value with Divine Deo and think that one can get the better of her with the right type of trip. In for third, I went to number 6, Whiskey to Wine. Second start, Richard Moreau after coming out east to join his barn. And this is the one that intrigues me. First start, Richard Moreau did qualify with Richard out of that barn on August 11th here. And, I just think that 11-1. I think that this is the value right now on the board. Now 14-1. Maybe post 6 is too tough this time for this mare, and maybe she's one that's going to get better with more starts. Out of the Moreau barn. But for me, why not try to get the value now on this one as opposed to waiting for the price to drop? Not paying in the pick 5 either, so that would give us a carryover as she was able to win. Number 2, Vanna's Cam has been racing well. Finished second last time to Lady KDB, but it was a wide margin from this same post position, so I think she'll be able to get away well again and get a piece of it. Right now, 12-1 on the board, not a bad price on number 2, Vanna's Cam. But the fillies and mares are moving on to the track. We'll be back in just a few moments. Just talk a bit more with Gary Guy.
Field for the 5th race on Parade 1, Lady KDB. Travis Henry for Paul Cameron and Jamie Cameron and TJ Stables. Number 2 is Vanna's Cam, Paul McKenzie for Catherine Flanagan. Number 3 is Divine Dale, Brett McDonough for Marcel Barrio and Joe Wilkie and Wayne McRae. For Century Harlots, Colin Kelly for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. Number 5, Salisbury Easy, Anthony Hunt for Jeffrey Williamson and Rebecca Williamson and Laverne Turnbull. Number 6 is Whiskey to Wine, Austin Sorry for Richard Moreau and Dr. Mitchell Downey. Number 7, Brad on Better B, Nick Boyd for Kendall Ron and Bryden Farms. Number 8 is Bettina Sealster, Jason Rod for Rick Gilmore. And 9 is Wasaga, Scott Culver, Les Posen. It's a field of 9, race number 5, the final leg of the pick 5, and also the start of the pick 3. Let's get a look at this field. We're going to start with number 3, Divine Deo. And Rob, I would have been wrong with Divine Deo. I thought this one was going to be the favorite, and that's actually why I took one Lady KDB. Divine Deo might drop down to favorite status. I thought when you look at that last half at Mohawk last race, pretty substantial back half of 55 and 2 and a mile of 54 and 3. And you also see this one racing the grassroots there in 53 and 4 as well. There's a lot to love with Divine Deo, 3-1.
Yeah, I agree with that, Gary, especially considering, last time Post 9 gets away 10th off the gate, no chance. Against a pretty solid group of non-winners of 2 at Mohawk Park. And we see another reference from Industry Day. This one, was 19-1, a pretty big price anyways, but went an overland journey on a day where you had to be on the front to have any kind of a chance. So you can't falter for fading out of it to give you 13 lengths. And, that second place finish beating her nose at Mohawk Park would probably put her into the winner's circle here tonight. So I'm a little bit shocked. The price is 7-2. I thought they might be an equal favoritism or close to it between Lady KDB and Divine Deo. I was not expecting this big of a price, though, on the 3-horse.
Number 1, Lady KDB. Now, last race wired the field here in 57 and 3, but they won a half in 59 and 1. You rightfully mentioned that the half was helpful, but also a legitimate 55 and 3 mile. The start before that with a 27 and 4 third panel. Lady KDB has flashed lots and has 4 wins on the year.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from this filly, that's for sure. She's raced well and on the season and last start to me was impressive, despite getting things her own way early on. She won by a wide margin and she did it easy. Do I think it warrants being 1-2 right now against this group? I would say probably not, but I do understand why she's taking so much support.
And you do have to mention that Paul Cameron's 29 starters this year, 9 winners, so he is getting them home on top. There is number 6, Whiskey to Wine. Oh, I love this one at 21-1. You take a look at that qualifier here, 102 and 1 to the half, back half of 57 and 2. Yeah, maybe you think she might not be ready, but boy, I'll tell you, I'd be willing to take a flyer on this one at a price. I'm afraid of Whiskey to Wine in here.
Yeah, 16-1 on a horse making their first start for Richard Moreau. That is something you don't see every day. And it's not like this horse is coming into it off of poor lines. I mean, she's won 2 of 8 this year and hit the board in 6 of those starts. And it was out east and, hasn't raced in a while since June the 26th. The qualifier looks good, though. The other thing to note about her is she's a 4-year-old mare against a lot of 3-year-olds in here. She's got a maturity edge. I'll be honest, I'm completely shocked she's 16-1 on the board.
Number 2, Vaniscam looks pretty alert on the track and was alert last race because post position 2 got a pocket trip to Lady KDB. We might be looking a little deja vu here.
Yeah, it's possible. She's got post 2, and there's no reason why she won't leave out enough just to land that spot again. I think Divine Deo is going to have something to say about that. She might be leaving out as well. Might put Vaniscam in the 3 hole, which is a tougher spot, but I would think even from that spot she might want to stay put and then get a piece of it late. That's what I would see. A 10-1 on the board when you need to use in your trifectas and supers, that's for sure.
And I wanted to touch on 9 Wasaga because you did teach me to always think about the 9 if you like the 1. I quipped you last race, but that was really your handicapping angle to brighten me up on that. And 9 Wasaga does have gate speed and went all the way on top of Georgian Downs last time out for a first win of the year.
Yeah, Wasaga's an interesting one, trailing post here, and we've seen some decent efforts from this filly over the surface, moving up in class, but you're right. There's no reason why she can't get away well behind Lady KDB and get a piece of it, and right now the price is 16-1.
Well, you don't get a price at all on number 1, Lady KDB, if you like that one on top at 3-5, but Rob likes 3, Divine Deo, and a more likable price at 7-2. Field of 9 for race number 5, taking up their positions. It will be Lady KDB. Vaniscam on the inside with Divine Dale. In the center, Century Harlot and Salzburg easy to the outside. Whiskey to Wine, Bright Elm, Better Be, and Patina Sealster. And the second tier, Wasaga. It's a field of 9, race number 5, the 5th of 10. on a marvelously warm Monday night at the river. Here they come. Field of 9 for the 5th race is at the start of the rough, and Lady KDB and Vanascam. Vanascam is bolting out Lady KDB, and down to the inside was Sega from the 2nd tier, and then Divine Dale and Century Harlot. Now Century Harlot is 4th, and Divine Dale is 5th away. Salzburg Easy, back to Whiskey to Wine, Brighthound Better Be, and Patina Sealster. Vanascam at 11-1 was able to grab the lead, but now it's going to be Lady KDB to come around. Lady KDB wants to be the leader, and is just that now as they race to the opening quarter with Vanascam in the pocket. Wasega 3rd, then Century Harlot and Divine Dale, back to Salzburg Easy, Whiskey to Wine and Brighthound Better Be, and Patina Sealster pops out but trails the field 28-4. The opening quarter for Lady KDB, Vanascam is 2nd. Wasega's on the inside 3rd, and then racing positioned on the outside 4th is Century Harlot, who's going to try it first up and give cover to Divine Dale, 2nd over 5th, and advancing. Then it is Brighthound Better Be to the inside, Salzburg Easy on the outside, Whiskey to Wine, Patina Sealster. The field heads their way to the 5/8 of a half of 59-4, 31 seconds, second panel breather for Lady KDB. On the outside, Century Harlot is grinding against Lady KDB. Lady KDB and Travis Henry is sitting chilly in the bike, though. And on the outside, Century Harlot, they're separated by about a head. Inside 3rd, Vanascam. Divine Deo is spotted 2nd over. Wasega's on the inside, racing 5th. Those 5 have separation on the rest of the field. 3/4, 128-1. Lady KDB, Century Harlot, Divine Dale's going to roll now off cover and get out 3 wide. Then Vanascam, Wasega's also moving in as following Divine Dale. Lady KDB, they come on down the lane. Lady KDB, charging as Divine Dale. Lady KDB, Divine Dale. Lady KDB, might have held on. Divine Dale to make it close, and then Wasega, Century Harlot, and Vanascam, 157-2. Race number 5. And it was a close one at the finish, but who did you think it was, Rob?
Well, probably wishful thinking, but I thought Brett McDonald was going to get up there, and maybe did, but who knows? You know the angle better than I do, Gary. I'd say Brett got up, but again, it's tight on the wire.
Well, Christine is very good at calling these at the finish, our video director, and she says the 3. I thought it was close enough that it might be tight. We're going to see on the slow motion replay, but it is a reasonably close one. Divine Dale closing for you. We'll see if you can cheer this one home. 5-2 on the board against the favorite, and the slow motion finish, and might have just put a nose on the wire in front. Also, you got to note that the fractions there, Rob. Look at that, 59-4 to the halftime. If Lady KDB didn't hold on to win, she really didn't have any excuse.
No, and to be honest, Divine Deo, I thought, given those fractions, had no chance, and still spotted 2nd over by Brett McDonald. It was a good steer, just situationally. Didn't want to come first over, ended up in that spot, and I was really impressed by the way she came off her cover. It's not easy to do here at Grand River when you pull early on the turn like that, and she was flying in the lane there. Even got a bit sideways. If that doesn't happen, she would have won easy. I really believe that, and I'm just hoping that Christine's right, and which will even further solidify her as my favorite director.
By the way, also, we mentioned before when we started the show that for the Pick 5, you got to use some 1s in there, and your dad had instructed you to use some 1s. If the 1 holds on, which I'm kind of doubtful, that would be the only one. The original so far coming into this one, 3-5-3-6, but it is a 3, Divine Dale. So it was the night to have the 3s, not the 1s, Rob.
That's right. Yeah, it was a night to definitely steer clear of the pole positions, and you know what? Oddly enough, I went in that direction tonight and it ended up not working out. But how about that, eh? We're both guessing and wondering, and Christine just nails it.
Well, that's why she's the director. That's why she gets the big bucks, and we're just the low-life commentators and announcers. Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 5. It is number 3, Divine Deo, a 3-year-old Better's Delight Bay filly, owned by Joe Wilkie and Wayne McRae. Marcel Berrio is the trainer. Brett McDonald, the winning driver. It is the second win this year, third lifetime for Divine Deo. 1 57-2. The fifth race of payouts. Number 3, Divine Dow, 710, 340, and 270. 1, Lady Katie Beat, 260 and 240. And 9 was Sega, $4.50. The $2 exactor, $13, $20 try, $49, $30 super, $155.80. And the pick 5. The pick 5 pays out on a 20-cent pick 5 ticket. Modern technology couldn't handle that 20-cent to pick 5, but the old technology's got it. $1,420.55. That's $1,420.55 for a 20-cent pick 5. Ka-ching. The fifth race, or finish from the top, 251-478-693. That's 251-478-693.
All right, we just saw a beautiful shot of the Allura sky there, brought to you by our wonderful broadcast team here at Grand River Raceway, directed by Christine. And guess what? She's not just a great director, she also knows how to call a photo better than Gary and I, because she called that one no problem and we couldn't figure out a winner. But finally, this capper gets into the win column, and I've always got an inherent fear of not giving you guys a winner in the card, but we've got one down. We got to find some more, though. Let's look for them. And race number 6, Philly Mayor's Claimer, $7,000 is a condition claimer. In the other direction now, for non-winners of 1,500 last 5 or 37,500 lifetime. It's also our super high 5 wager, which is one of my favorite wagers here at Grand River. So make sure you start mapping out your winning tickets for that one, because they always pay handsomely. And here I went to number 3, Dream a Dream for me right now, 3-2 on the board. And last time went to Georgian Downs in a conditioned claimer and ended up finishing third after sitting a 2-hole trip. But the winner on that occasion was Miss Brampton Beast, who then came and raced. That winner came and raced in an open claimer here last time. I don't think she liked the tighter turns here at Grand River, but she was one that got hammered down to be a big favorite in an open $8,500 claimer. So that is a pretty good form reference for Dream a Dream for me. And if you go further down the page, you'll see her winning in a more difficult race here in an open 7 claimer on July the 19th. So I'm just going to hope this one comes back to that form and put her on top. I think she is the one to beat in here. And, you know, right now at 3-2 on the board, not a ton of value, but a fair price, I'd say, with her getting back into the condition claimer on the lower spectrum. And for second, number 6, Midnight Surf. Well, this one's been racing an open $7,000 claimers and was a winner 2 back right here at Grand River Raceway. You know, she is one that gets in based on the non-winners of 37,500 lifetime. And I thought that effort here at Grand River 2 back was a solid one. Last time went to Sarnia in an open $7,000 claimer, and it got bet down actually before finishing 6th, beaten by a wide margin. Brett McDonald was aboard for that victory 2 back. He's aboard again tonight. I think that's a big-time positive on this one. And you know, 4-1 on the board looks like the value. I see Gary and Ken are both going in the direction of number 6, Midnight Surf. Number 7, Century Havana, to me, is an interesting one in here, especially at a price right now of 11-1. Last time, you know, was racing in non-winners of 5,000 lifetime at Hanover. Had been racing in, you know, this condition claimer groups for $15,000 price tag before that. And maybe now with a lower price tag and against ones that haven't made 1,500 in their last 5, she might be able to wake up for a barn that I respect in Jim Ritchie. So you got Austin Story aboard outside post, might be one that can sneak onto the trifecta superfecta ticket at a price right now of 10-1. In for fourth, I did go to number 9 Rhythm Sealster, trailing post for this one, and has been hitting the board with some frequency, 6 out of 12 this season, landing in the money, and might just be one that can sit a trip and then come at them late. The problem is, she does have gate speed, but hey, she can be able to show it following out Lady Oxford, baby. If that one goes forward off the gate, she can get forwardly placed. If she sits a decent trip, she might be able to, roll up them late to get a big piece of it. Then number 5, Heartbeat. And so this one I went to last time, ended up first over in this class and couldn't really advance too much before finishing third, 7-2 on the board. Maybe I should have came back to this one more time, but I opted to slot it underneath in the 5th spot here in the high 5. So, but I see the Philly mares are moving out into the track. We'll come back and talk about this high 5 race, or Pentafecta, as Gary likes to call it, a little bit further after the post parade.
Field for the 6th on Parade 1, Lady Oxford. Pat Hudon for Kevin Botts and Edwin Bosniak. Correction, Eden Bosniak. Number 2 is Larjan Lucy. Travis Cullen for Catherine Cochran and Stephen Bastard. And 3, Dream a Dream for me, Anthony Hahn for Bernard Wells. Number 4, Another Star is Born. Paul McKenzie for Mike Pattison. 5 is Heartbeat and Sizzle Chair Plot for Bruno Lacroix and Wayne Smith. The 6 is Midnight Surf, Brett McDonough for Todd Ratchford and ECS Racing. Number 7 is Century Havana, Austin Story Drives for Jim Ritchie and Paul Ritchie. 8 is Scratched, and number 9 is Rhythm Sealster, Jason Ryan for Graham Burgess. Field of 8, race 6, featuring the Super High 5. Let's get a quick look at this field. And we're going to start with number 3, Dream a Dream for Me. And this one, Rob, was finishing very nicely at Georgian last race, 28-3 final quarter to finish third. And you mentioned you go back to the middle of July, went to the front above this class and wired a field 57-2. There's enough positives to like Dream a Dream for Me, but I don't like Even Money.
Yeah, even money. Well, now 2-1, oddly enough, right away. As we say that, Century Havana, the one I thought was a nice price play, goes down to 3-2. 2-1 on the board, I think is about the right price on number 3, Dream a Dream for Me. Let's get on the track right now. Ears are up. She's listening to what Anthony On has to say to her, and I think that getting back to this level, is something that's going to help her out tremendously. And you look back down to that win here at Grand River, that was against Open Company. So I think that she is the clear one to beat, has a good post to work from, has early speed. 5-2, that price is creeping up, Gary.
I don't think she was listening to Anthony Hahn. I think she was listening to see what you have to say about her, and now she's fired up because you've got her on top. Number 6, Midnight Surf, is the one that I have on top. And look, the question will be what type of trip, because Dream a Dream for Me has a better post and has probably the better gate speed. Midnight Surf and Brett McDonald. This is one that raced from off the pace here 2 races ago. Did a nice job to win in 57-4. And then last race at Sarnia, boy, that doesn't look good at all. But the 2 previous lines, both of them here, were pretty solid.
Yeah, I think that, if you go back to that victory here, it was a real nice effort. And even the second place finish, beating 3/4 of length to Dream a Dream for Me, was also pretty solid as well. So I thought they were kind of the 2 standouts in the race, to be perfectly honest. And then I thought the 7 Century Havana might be worth a price play, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to Dream a Dream for Me and Midnight Surf once again. 2-1 and 5-2. The odds board's kind of starting to go in that direction.
Number 7 Century Havana dropped to this class last race and beaten 3 1/4 and moved up from 6th to 5th. But the barn, Jim Ritchie's barn, has been put up some good numbers over the years in the past, and Austin Story has been driving well, but Century Havana is heavily backed at 5-2.
Yeah, the price I don't like on Cedric Havana. I was kind of excited about this one being a price play on the ticket somewhere, whether it be on the trifecta or the super high five. But 5 to 2, I can't get excited about. Post seven's obviously a real difficult spot to start from, and again, the value is just not there right now. 3 to 1, she might float up a bit, but I'll be honest. I thought we'd get around 15 or 16 to 1 on this one.
I want to quickly talk about 9 and 5 in here. 9 Rhythm Sealster is one that should be able to get a trip following out Lady Oxford, and one that, well, maybe in this spot might be able to be a decent one to play somewhere on the ticket at 5 to 1.
Yeah, I think so. Trailing posts can be a positive spot to start from when the rail horse leaves out, and we might see that from Lady Oxford. We saw it last time going to the lead from post 3, so hopefully we see that again tonight. But Lady Oxford is 40 to 1, so I get concerned when you're banking on a horse at a big price to provide that early speed to get away well from the 9 hole. Rhythm Tilster, though, heavily backed, and one that has a chance if she gets a trip, which is still a question mark from the trailing post.
I wanted to touch on 5 Heartbeat and Sizzle. I used this one for third, and you used her for fifth. But that trip last race, coming first up, finishing third to Black Creek Rosebud, beaten a length and a half. Black Creek Rosebud came back to prove her worth because she won earlier this evening.
Yeah, and I was on this one last time, so if anyone out there likes to play the Robert off angle, fire away on Heartbeat and Sizzle, because I jumped off this one, and so many times, Gary, you see one that you're on frequently, and then you jump off and they win.
Well, we'll see how this sixth race unfolds. It is a field of 8 taking up their positions. It's Lady Oxford, L'Argent Lucy on the inside with Dream a Dream for Me in the center. Another Stars Born and Heartbeat and Sizzle to the outside. Midnight Surf, Century Havana, and the second tier Rhythm Sealster. Field of 8, race number 6. It is post time for the 6th race, Super High 5, the Pentafecta. And they have reached the top of the stretch. Here they come. Giddy up. Field for the 6th race is at the start of the rough. L'Argent Lucy, Lady Oxford, another Stars Born, Century Havana from the outside, and Dream a Dream for Me, but Lady Oxford using that post-1 advantage to take the lead. L'Argent Lucy is in the pocket. Another Stars Born still works on the outside. Dream a Dream for Me is on the inside and is racing fourth, and then Century Havana, Heartbeat and Sizzle. And then it is back to Rhythm Sealster and trailing Midnight Surf as they race on to the opening quarter, and it is now another Stars Born at now driving on the outside 60 to 1, trying to clear to the front over Lady Oxford at 21 to 1 on the inside, but it is going to be Lady Oxford and Pat Huda insisting on the lead. Another Stars Born that's now looking to take back and find a seat, but that seat has been taken by L'Argent Lucy on the inside. So now another Stars Born is going to have to be a real star because is hung on the outside and racing third L'Argent Lucy. Then Century Havana is racing second over four. Dream a Dream for Me is locked down to the inside, and Heartbeat and Sizzle is right there tight on the back of Century Havana. They get to the half at a lively 56-4. And then it is back for the Rhythm Sealster. Midnight Surf is trailing the field, but off a sharp half of 56-4. And off stride goes Century Havana. They race the backstretch. Lady Oxford at 21 to 1 still has the lead. L'Argent Lucy on the inside. There goes Heartbeat and Sizzle now. Rolling off cover and getting out. And also coming is Midnight Surf. They march on to 3/4. Lady Oxford. And then Heartbeat and Sizzle is bolting up quickly. Midnight Surf was last in the early going and has now come on to take over third. Then racing for this L'Argent Lucy. And Rhythm Sealster, Dream a Dream for Me, is well back and further another Stars, 1/3, 128. And right now it is Heartbeat and Sizzle, but looming is Midnight Surf, and on the inside, Lady Oxford. Heartbeat and Sizzle, Midnight Surf, Lady Oxford on down the stretch drive they come. Midnight Surf on the outside is going to surf by the field and win it from last to first. And then it was Heartbeat and Sizzle, and finishing third was Rhythm Sealster, and then Lady Oxford. 159 flat Midnight Surf. You don't often see it last at first, but a 56-4 half and a mile of 159 certainly opens the door for that kind of effort, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. This one, Yeah, there's a lot of action up front early on, and kind of interestingly run race. And Midnight Surf was one that when you look at the lines, if something ever falls apart in here, definitely the mare that you want to be on. And she ended up proving that in the end and coming around them all for the victory. Heartbeat and Sizzle. I thought maybe with a different trip this time, went first up last time, got covered this time, still raced well to get a big piece of it, but I thought maybe that one might be able to get the better of them, being able to clear around a long shot that was leading for a long way, but no holding off Midnight Surf tonight.
And also number 9, Rhythm Sealster. We talked about that the 1 might leave and the 9 could get a trip. People were probably surprised how well the 1 Lady Oxford raced, at least held up the speed to the top of the stretch. 9 Rhythm Sealster finishing third at 9-1.
Yeah, not the way you draw it up either, though, right? Because Rhythm Sealster got away seventh. So Rhythm Sealster wasn't able to stay with number 1 Lady Oxford off the gate, but it ended up being a good thing. If she did, she might have got mixed up in the early speed battle of 56 and 4. And Jason Ryan actually really navigated a nice race there because he stayed on the inside, then got out to the outside at the right time, ended up getting up for third, and it was a good result for that one. Maybe we'll see something better than this one next time as she gets her nose on the gate.
And Larjan Lucy was able to get off the gate, but still stuck around and finished fourth at 13-1. On the board, we have a 6-5-9-2-3. Back in front of us is number 6, Midnight Surf. Midnight Surf is a 5-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay mare, owned by ECS Racing. Todd Ratchford, the trainer. Brett McDonald, the winning driver. It's the second win this year and the 5th lifetime for Midnight Surf. 159 flat. The 6th race payouts, number 6, Midnight Surf, $873.90, $3, 5 Heartbeat and Sizzle, $460, and $370 and 9 Rhythm Sealster, $410, $2 Exactor, $33.60, Try, $104.75. We have a 20-cent pick four, paying $482.98, and a dollar high five, $981.85. Fans note in race number 10, we have a driver change. On number 8 in the 10th race, the driver will be Tyler Moore, driving number 8, AJ Knight. Tyler Moore drives 8, AJ Knight in the 10th. The sixth race order finish from the top 645 821 7 scratch 3. That's 645 821 7 scratch 3.
All right, folks. Well, it's time for race number 7. You know what that means? It's the start of our late pick 4. So start mapping out some winning wagers for that one. And this is for filling a mares and winners of 5,000 life on the pace. And in here, I went to one that I was able to pick on top not too long ago when she managed to be a winner. Number 5, Tiara Dancer. And that was back on July the 19th. She won by 8 lengths in this class. And since then, raced in an OSS grassroots race on Industry Day, had post 8, no chance. Again, on that track that was speed favoring. Last time, had the pole position at Georgian Downs, ended up sitting the 2-hole and only got beat a half a length to seal the dark. So I think Tiara Dancer is the one to beat in here. Right now, 2-1 on the board. I think that price is a fair one, and probably we won't see, much more than that come post time because, getting back into this race at this level here at Grand River might just be what she needs to find the winner's circle again. I see that 3 of the 4 handicappers here at Grand River are on board with Tiara Dancer as the top selection. Ontario Racing picks her second. I went to number 1, Betty on the Beach, in for a second here, and last time post 7, right? Gets away 7th. We always just kind of discount those outside posts sometimes when you see an effort that might be a little bit questionable. And, trailing posts at Clinton before that, and a couple of post fours over at Hanover. Like, she hasn't really been one that's drawn all that well recently, and now gets the pole position to work from. You get Travis Cullen aboard once again. 5-1 on the board, a little bit shorter than I was hoping to see, but I guess I can't expect much more from a horse that does, draw the rail here at Grand River. Betting on the Beach is one I think you need to watch for, especially underneath in the exacta, trifecta, and superfecta wagers. In for third, number two, PDQ Hanover. One that finished fourth last time here at Grand River from post 6, had an inside trip and just, maintained position. Was a winner 2 back at Hanover. And last time was first start for Ryan Stewart. Maybe this time around can enjoy a better result. Ontario Racing went in this direction on top. 11-1, to be perfectly honest, is a good price on PDQ Hanover. I thought, this one would be maybe the second choice on the odds board. And betting on the Beach should be a bigger price than she is right now. Maybe that all evens out come post time, but PDQ Hanover is definitely one you want to have in your exotics at a minimum. And then in for fourth, I went to number 6, Battle with Desire. Last time raced in this class from post 7, ended up finishing 5th. First time that GRR Plant was aboard this one, and maybe can get a better result this time around. 5-1 on the board. For this effort, one post better. 19-1 last time, though, and just 6-1 right now. I would want a bigger price on Battle with Desire, that's for sure. Do keep in mind number 8, Up the Credit with Art, is number 8, but starts from post 9. That's very significant. Starts from the trailing post behind Betting on the Beach. It is the start of the pick 4, the late pick 4 wager. Make sure you get your tickets in for that. And we'll come back and take a close look at this race with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field for the 7th on Parade 1. Betty on the Beach. Travis Cullen for Brian Dunbar and 8th Line Investments. Number 2 is PDQ Hanover, Austin Sorry for Ryan Stewart and Joyce Empey and Lisa Stewart. 3 is Alessandra, Colin Keller for Bill Bunn and Frank Lamacchia and Tony Maselli. Number 4 is Lady Karen, Gino Toscani drives and trains and owns. And 5 is Tierra Dancer, Scott Quilliver, Les Posen. Number 6, Battle with Desire, J.R. Plot for Sylvain Grenier and Claude Grandin. And number 7 is Go Gals Card Trick, George Kentros for John Braid. Now Braid is Up the Credit with Art, scoring the trailer post, Brent McDonough for Jacob Murray and Jim Wilson. Well, let's get a look at this field for race number 7, start of the pick 4. We're going to start with number 5, Tierra Dancer, 7-5 on the board, and I think very likely to stay that price or go lower. Tierra Dancer, well, of the last 3 races, a very fine performance here. Last time out to be beaten, half a length from post 1. Wired a field here July the 19th, and I mean really wired the field by 8. And that one at the Grassroots, Rob, that was post 8. 57-1, actually the quickest of the last 3 races, just in against much tougher. Tierra Dancer, 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2 I think is about the right price on this one. I thought 2-1 was, might be actually generous. Now even money. We might even see a dip lower than that. If you go back to that last effort in this class, it was just a dominant one, and tough to really imagine that anyone in here could challenge her if she comes back to anything close to that. I thought that last time it was a pretty nice effort, too, at Georgian Downs in finishing second, beating half a length. So, to me, she's clearly the one to beat. Even running the board's no fun, though. So, if you don't like that short price and don't want to put her on top of the exotics, then maybe you want to go searching elsewhere.
There is a number 1, Betty on the Beach. My question with this one will be, how well does she leave? There is some question marks about that, but inside post, Travis Cullen, and well, you've got the one here in your second spot at 7-1.
Yeah, I just think that pole position with one that Travis gets back aboard. Was aboard last time. I like the fact that he's back aboard today. This filly retains his services, and last time post 7, no chance. You just cross that one off the board here, and now hope that maybe from a better post this time, especially that pole position, can push out and maybe get away well. I think Betty on the Beach, obviously you don't see much in her past performances, but there's a lot of difficult posts in there that are mixed in, and she's taking a lot of support, Gary, based on how she looks, in the program.
Number 2, PDQ Hanover is one that can provide some gate speed. In fact, last race even left in 28 and 4, only got away 4th. But I think PDQ Hanover can provide gate speed. And PDQ Hanover, a note that Up the Credit with Art needs to make a decision because it leaves from the trailer post, following out on the inside. PDQ Hanover, the Austin Sorry for Ryan Stewart, was a winner at Hanover 2 races ago, and that was an okay effort here last time out.
Yeah, I think this one right now, 3-1, the odds are kind of getting back to where they should have been to begin with. Betty on the Beach should be around, double digits or 9-1, and PDQ Hanover should have been the second choice. Now, of course, we see Tiara Dancer drop to 1-5, and PDQ Hanover goes back up to 5-1. But I think she deserves second favoritism in here. A favorable post this time, and last time had post 6, so it was a nice, first outing for new trainer Ryan Stewart, and maybe we can see this one, get away better tonight than the 4th she did last time, and then finish off her mile. Again, I think that I put her in the 3rd spot, looking to split them with a price. I think she deserves second favoritism, though.
Number 6, Battle with Desire, is coming in off of a better last race, but it was still 5th. But the speed compares well here, 57 and 3. 1-2 of 4 starts last year. Hasn't made the top 2 yet this year in 9 tries.
Yeah, another one, though, coming from a difficult post, and has had some pretty difficult posts throughout. Not that the post gets any better tonight, but there are some excuses on there. And GRR Plant is aboard again, and we've seen him work wonders with some horses and creating speed. Maybe we see this one try to fire off a little bit better this time around, and if she does, I think she can get a piece of it. Right now, 13-1 is not the worst price in the world.
And I wanted to touch on 8, Up the Credit with Art. The trailer post, twice tonight you have used a 1 and not used the trailer post. And in both of those occasions, the 9 horse got on the ticket. Here is effectively a 9, Up the Credit with Art. Last race was post 8, not great, but the start before that was solid.
Yeah, and usually I stick to my handicapping principles, right, Gary? And tonight, you're dead right to call me out on them because I'm not doing it. And it has not been proving positive for me. Up the Credit with Art is one that, I thought raced a lot better 2 starts back. And you know what? Last time from post 8 probably had no chance. So you might be onto something with, this one, landing somewhere on the ticket, and 8-1 on the board. Not a bad price. If Betting on the Beach goes 4 off the gate, has a chance.
Well, I used Up the Credit with Art for second. In behind 5, Tiara Dancer, who is 3-5 is the favorite. And taking up their positions, it'll be Betty on the Beach and PDQ Hanover, Alessandra on the inside of the center, Lady Karen and Tiara Dancer on the outside. Battle with Desire, Go Gals, Card Trick, and Up the Credit with Art is from the trailer post. It's a field of 8, the 7th dash. Here they come. And off stride, Betty on the Beach, and it is Alessandra, PDQ Hanover on the inside, and out wide, Tiara Dancer is leaving well. Up the Credit with Art gets away into the front 4, and is following PDQ Hanover now to the outside, Battle with Desire, as they work their way on into the backstretch, and then it is back to Go Gal's Card Trick, and then we've got Lady Karen and Betty on the Beach, and Tiara Dancer is able to stride up and get to the Alessandra, and 23-1 is second, and then it is PDQ Hanover third, racing for his Battle with Desire, and 5th is Up the Credit with Art. Then Go Gal's Card Trick, and back to Lady Karen, and Betty on the Beach is trailing from a surfing spot as they race their way on around the turn of a 28-2 opening quarter, and it is Tiara Dancer and Scotty Coulter, the 1-2 favorite, who's got the lead, and then racing second is Alessandra, PDQ Hanover third, and then Battle with Desire moves on the outside and picking up that one's cover. On the outside is Up the Credit with Art, and advancing quickly, second over 4th. Inside 5 is PDQ Hanover. Then it is Go Gal's Card Trick. To the outside, Lady Karen. On the inside, Betty on the Beach. Into the backstretch they go, and it is Tierra Dancer. Battle with Desire. Now has got lots of desire on the outside, and is only a head off the lead. Then Alessandra on the inside. Up there, Credit with Art is running the back of Battle with Desire. It is Tierra Dancer and Battle with Desire. Up there, Credit with Art is right tight on the back of Battle with Desire. And on the inside, Alessandra has been getting a trip at 23-1 and is still in the hunt. And then fifth is Golgal's Card Trick, and then PDQ Hanover, Betty and the Beach, and Lady Karen. And now three wide, there goes Up the Credit with Art. 3/4, 129. And it is Tierra Dancer. Up the Credit with Art. Alessandra is still in the hunt on the inside. And Battle with Desire. And then Golgal's Card Trick on down the stretch ride. Tierra Dancer. Alessandra, and Up the Credit with Art. Tierra Dancer is going to hold on and win. Second is between Alessandra and Up the Credit with Art. And Golgal's Card Trick. 159-4. Race number 7, Tierra Dancer. Well, finally was 1-2 on the board, and was full measure for being 1-2, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that Scotty looked pretty comfortable when Battle with Desire was coming to challenge there. Did get close to putting her nose level with this one's, but I didn't think that Scott ever looked worried on the front end, that's for sure. And then obviously he did get a little busy late because he had some pressure coming on the outside, and in number 8 Up the Credit with Art, and number 3 Alessandra, interestingly enough, a Bill Budd pupil, and one that used to be racing out of that barn. So looks like that Alessandra may have actually held on for the second spot, but kind of no doubt about the winner.
Yeah, Alessandra raced pretty well because was able to get off the gate and get a trip, but I thought might drop back because the lines weren't great on Alessandra. It stayed very game, so one to keep an eye on. And then, have you learned your lesson yet? That's the third time tonight where you liked the one and didn't like the trailer post, and there is 8 Up the Credit with Art from the trailer post, right tight with a place photo.
Well, last night, I'm going to blame you, Gary, but it's all my fault. You told me last night to make sure I study hard, but not too hard. Maybe I study too hard, and I'm overthinking myself too much tonight. So, winner on top, but kind of nowhere close to the ones that landed underneath.
And then note, we do have an inquiry, and the inquiry pertains to number 7, Golgal's Card Trick, and a possible pylon violation. But wheeling back in front of us is the winner of race number 7. It is number 5, Tierra Dancer, owned and trained by Les Posen. Scotty Calder, the 10 Tornado, with the winning drive. It is a second win for Tierra Dancer, and Tierra Dancer 159-4. Fans, the judges reviewed 2 separate items. The race In the stretch drive and 7, Gogau's card trick went inside of 2 consecutive pylons. However, it was not lapped on at the finish, therefore it will stand. The judges also reviewed the break and stride of 1, Betty on the Beach, before the start and ruled that number 8, Up the Credit with Art, did not suffer interference before the start and will stand third. So 5-3-8-7, the top 4 with the Inquirer Sundown. The 7th race payout, 5 Tierra Dancer, $3 to $62.90. 3 Alessandra, $10.40 and $4.50. 8 Up the Credit with Art, $4. $2 Exactor, $23.60. The Dollar Try, $41. Dollar Super, $928.95. The 7th race, order of finish from the top, 562-81743. That's 562-81743.
All right, time to take a look at race number 8. Filly Mares non-winners of 25,000 lifetime on the pace. I'm going back to one that I had on top last time, and she made a break in stride at a very, very short price. That's number 4, JM Sports Fan, and got beat by a wide margin, but she had no chance after making a break. And I'm a little bit surprised right now that she's 6-1 on the board. So sometimes you see these horses that are heavy favorites. They stub their toe, and then you can take back some value on them. I don't think she's going to be 6-1 come post time, but who knows? Maybe she won't be the favorite. I like her again. 2 starts back. She was a very impressive winner. Non-winners of 15,000 life. Won by a wide margin, had a healthy margin throughout, and Anthony Hahn never asked her even one little stitch anywhere in the mile. She won with condescending ease, back half of 56-4, last quarter 28-3. I like JM Sports Fan in here, and I'm a big fan of this filly in general. Surprised to see her on the board right now at 7-1. In for second, number 2, Always Watching. And, well, another one you've got to respect, that's for sure. Raced in non-winners of 2 at Mohawk Park last time. Was involved in the early speed. And only faded back to finish 4th, beating 3.5 lengths to Best Keepsake. Raced in the golds for back-to-back starts and didn't have much success in there. But, if you look back, to Grand River Raceway here on July the 2nd, won by more than 16 lengths. But that wasn't a condition claimer, but it was a good enough effort. You'd say, well, she's got to be pretty good at this level and non-winners of 25,000 lifetime. She followed it up with a win in the Prospect and then raced pretty well against some nice fillies at Mohawk Park before those last 3 efforts. So Always Watching is one that should take support, but I still would lean towards Champ Sports Fan over that one. And the odds discrepancy right now is 7-1 versus 9-5 to me is a little bit wild. Number 1, Dazzlin' Rosie, one that we saw take a lot of money 2 starts back and then kind of got an inside trip, never got to show her stuff from, the inside. And last time didn't take much support at 25-1. Now gets the pole position, taking that support again at 5-2. I think that Dazzlin' Rosie's a nice enough mare to, challenge these ones on her best day. Just comes down to trip, and I guess if you ever want to take a shot on this one getting a good trip, it should be when she has the pole position here at Grand River. I put this one in the 3rd spot, and I see Tierra Racing put her in the 2nd spot, and Gary and Ken both put her in the 4th spot. So everyone kind of likes this one for a piece of it, and I think she merits respect somewhere on the ticket. Then I went to number 3, Miss Megan Sparkle, one that's been getting pieces in this class and hit the board in 6 of 9 so far this season. I don't know if she's a win candidate in here. In fact, I would say for me, I'd probably have her, on the bottom end of the trifecta, bottom end of the superfecta ticket, maybe one that can get a smaller share. But I'm sticking with number 4, JM Sports Fan, and that price is mighty attractive right now at 5-1. But we'll come back and discuss race number 8 in further detail with Gary Guy in just a few moments.
Field for the 8th on parade. 1, Dazzlin' Rosie. Ross Batten for Dr. Paul Rutherford. Number 2, Always Watching. Colin Kelly for Ben Wallace and Wallace Stanbrett and Knobloch Racing. Number 3, Miss Megan Sparkle. Tallimore for Mark McCormick and Megan McCormick. Number 4, JM Sports Fan, Brian McDonough for Isabel Darvaux and Jason and Gordon Redmond. 5 is Salisbury Flashy, Travis Henry for Steve Charlton and LaRock Racing. Number 6, Better Kiss the Men, Anthony Hunt for Isabel Darvaux and Robert Shepard. And number 7, Ceaseless Jay Harris for Lacey McCabe and Glenview Livestock Limited and Cheryl Cherry. Field of 7, race number 8. And, well, Rob, you went against the one that I have on top here. Number 2, Always Watching. I'm the only one actually with Always Watching on top. And you do like 4, JM Sports Fan. There's a lot to like with JM Sports Fan, with the exception of that break early last time out. That was a fine effort here just 2 races ago, winning at a wraps in 54-2.
Yeah, I'm shocked right now the price is 4-1, to be completely honest, because last time, goes off at 1-5, and now we're seeing 4-1, and it's not like she went out and raced poorly. She made a miscue in the first turn, and it was uncharacteristic break and stride. It's not like she's made a bunch of them, and we're going to see that again tonight. I think she gets right back on the beam tonight and can find the winner's circle, and is at worst, the worst at worst, the second best horse in this field. I do think she's the best though, and 7-2, great opportunity to take the value on this one if you were on her in any of her last three when she was bet down to favoritism.
Well, I'll take a stand here. I don't actually think she's the best in here. I believe that Two Always Watching is the better one in here. I could be proven wrong, I certainly have been before. But Two Always Watching, look at July the 16th at Mohawk, and anometers at 2. 26 in one opening quarter, and that's a big opening quarter, and yet stuck around for a third, beaten a length and a half in 51. Beaten by Barn Dogs Watching and Rendezvous. Those would be some nice ones in here. Always Watching is also, you mentioned that last race at Woodbine. That was a solid outing in 53 and 4. And this is one, of course, that crushed the field here. Both Always Watching and Jam Sports Fan both have big crushing efforts here where they won by double-digit lengths. Always Watching also, I believe, is going to go to the front. If you can leave in 26 and 1 from post 6 at Mohawk, you're probably firing here. Colin Kelly, Ben Wallace. I think it's the front end, and there isn't enough pace maybe to force Always Watching to get the fractions that wouldn't allow for a win.
I agree with that. I think she is going to the front. There's no question about it. I guess my concern is that she's been racing against much tougher. There's no doubt about that. But will she, if Spring Sports Fan comes to call, will she be able to hold her off? Those two victories that you do see on her card this season are against significantly easier than what she faces tonight, especially in one against Jam Sports Fans. So, if she had, kind of held on to win one of those races at Mohawk Park, or get a bigger share of it, I might be on board. I'm still sticking with Jam Sports Fan. I do believe, right now, I think she is the better filly. But hey, I do think they both stand out, and the margin between them is not much.
Number 1, Dazzlin' Rosie, I think is the potential trip horse. Could well be sitting in the pocket in this one, and was beaten only 2 last race in 55 and 1.
Yeah, Dazzlin' Rosie is the intriguing one in here because she took early money again and was a nice winner 3 starts back at Clinton. Didn't get a chance 2 starts back. She got an inside trip. She was hammered down in this class, from post 3 on that occasion. Never really got a chance to show her stuff. Last time, closed well to finish third. She's the X factor to me. I'm not sure if she can get the better of either Always Watching or Jam Sports Fan, but she's got a maturity edge over those two, and she's got the pole position. So you never know. And Ross Batten is approaching a pretty big milestone. So it'll be interesting to see what Dazzling Rosie does tonight.
And number 3, Ms. Megan Sparkle, is just a length off of the win last time out. That was a solid effort, getting the pocket, even a little bit of early interference. Mile of 55 was 9-1 in that start, beaten only a length. Ms. Megan Sparkle, 9-1 again, not getting a lot of love off that last race.
No, not getting a lot of love, and one that should have every right to maybe throw her hat into the ring for an early pace scenario. Not too sure she can outleave Always Watching, that's for sure. But I think she's going to want to be pointed somewhere towards the lead. So, one that I think can sneak onto the ticket. I'm not too sure she can find the wire first, though.
Gate is rolling for race number 8. A field of 7 for the 8th race. Dazzlin' Rosie, Always Watching on the inside. Miss Megan Sparkle, Jam Sports Fan, and Salzburg Flashy in the center to the outside. Better Kiss the Men and Ceaseless. It's a field of 7 for the 8th race. They're nearing the start. And They're off. Always watching Ms. Megan Sparkle, Dazzlin' Rosie on the inside, and then Better Kiss the Men. But right now it is Always Watching who's got the lead. Ms. Megan Sparkle second away. Dazzlin' Rosie on the inside third. Then it is Better Kiss the Men. Jam Sports Fan is racing fifth, and then Salzburg Flashy and Ceaseless is back trailing the field. Always Watching's got the lead. Always Watching has a lead of about 2.25 right now. Ms. Megan Sparkle is second. Opening quarter was 27-3. Dazzlin' Rosie third. Then Better Kiss the Men. Jam Sports Fan is racing fifth and is about 8 or 9 off the lead. And then it's back to Salzburg Flashy and Ceaseless, and they race off the turn. Always Watching the 3-5 favorite. Races up to the half, looking for a second panel breather off that 27-3 opening quarter. Miss Megan Sparkle up a little closer in the pocket. Dazzlin' Rosie. Here comes Jam Sports Fan now. Roaring up first over. Then it is back to Better Kiss the Men to the outside. It is Salzburg Flashy. And then trailing the field is Ceaseless. And they race through into the backstretch off a 57-second half. 29-2 second panel. Always Watching as they race on down the backstretch. Miss Megan Sparkle on the inside. Jam Sports Fan is making steady progress and now is only about a length and 3/4 back of Always Watching. It's Always Watching. JM Sports Fan chipping away at the lead, but it's still a length and a half. And on the inside third, Miss Megan Sparkle, Dazzlin' Rosie, Salzburg Flashy, Better Kiss the Men, and Ceaseless. And it is Always Watching. Miss Megan Sparkle second, JM Sports Fan on the outside third. Dazzlin' Rosie is racing fourth. They turn on down the lane, and it is Always Watching on down the stretch drive. Always Watching. Ms. Megan Sparkle. Always Watching. Of 3/4, 125-2. A win in 154-3. Ms. Megan Sparkle third. Second, rather, than Dazzlin' Rosie and Jam Sports Fan. 154-3. Always Watching. We got to watch this one all the way on top in the 8th race, Robin. A very solid mile. 57.5. That second panel breather of 29-2 seemed to be the key.
Definitely. And it's interesting, I thought this one might have trouble finishing her mile, but she didn't at all. She came home well and proved to be the best here. I thought we were going to get a Gary Guy guarantee there. You were close to it. I know you were, with Always Watching. That was very emphatic on your part, thinking she's the best in the race, and she is. I mean, I can't take anything away from her. Jam Sports Fan did come first over, and maybe if she kept on kind of grinding out there to get second, you can make an argument that, maybe with different fractions she could have got there. But she ended up fading to fourth, so definitely not in this one's league tonight. Much the best. Gary Guy back in the win column once again.
Well, I also thought that sometimes with a shorter field, a field of 7, it is a little more likely that you can back off the half because you might not be as likely to be pushed on the lead. And that's exactly what happened. Always Watching was able to back off that second quarter because there wasn't anyone pushing the pace at all.
Yeah, exactly. We were close to the lineup too, right? We thought Miss Megan Sparkle would push out for position. She ended up getting the 2-hole. Nice drive by Tyler Moore to secure that trip, and Dazzlin' Rosie sat an inside trip as well, and they ended up maintaining those positions when Jam Sports Fan wasn't able to handle the heat from her first over trip. So it kind of ended up coming in pretty formful. Other than the fact that Jam Sports Fan probably got the worst trip of those 4 entries into the race and ended up in the 4th spot.
Well, the trip handicapping seemed to be the key there, and that's why you're looking at a 3-5 Always Watching, who's coming back in front of us. And Always Watching, a 3-year-old He's Watching Bay filly, owned by Wallace Standardbreds and Knobloch Racing. Ben Wallace is the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning driver. It's the 3rd win this year, 4th lifetime for Always Watching. 154-3. The driving double on the evening for Colin Kelly and the payouts to always watching 350, 270, 230. 3 is Megan Sparkle 550 and 280 and 1 Dazzle and Rosie 290. $2 exactor 1240. Dollar try $12.20. Dollar super 22.55. And a correction, that is the driving hat trick on the evening for Colin Kelly. Note it is 3 on the night for Colin Kelly. Eighth race order finish from the top. 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7. That's 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7.
All right, folks. Well, nice flying by, isn't it? We're already at race number 9, which means there's only one multi-leg wager left. That's the late double. So make sure you get your wagers in for that one. Horse and Galley's numbers are 37.50 last 3 or 4,500 last 5. We've got Pacers. And well, I went to the horses getting all kinds of post relief, and I see that every single one of us here, handicappers here at Grand River, are on that one as well. Picking number 1, Paparazzi Hanover on top. Post 7 in the preferred 3 last time. No chance. Post 5 in that class 2 back. Got a small share. Easy winner. And the claiming handicap 3 starts back, and that was a real big effort from this one. I think from the pole position today, we're going to see him fire off the gate and be very difficult to beat. The price right now is pretty good at 3-1. I can't imagine it staying there. Number 2, Shades of Bay, one you have to consider. Classy veteran with 21 wins and over 330,000 made in his career. Always seemed to get a piece of it earlier in the summer. Finished 4th last time, was racing the preferred before that. Should like getting, back into this class now from post 2. I think Shades of Bay is the main danger. 7-2 on the board, not a bad price. Number 4, Bit of Luck. I see that we all go 1-2-4 or 1-4-2 here. Number 4, Bit of Luck, is one that I think might be able to do a little better with a bit of luck in his trip scenario tonight. Went overland last time and ended up getting 5th in this class. But I think it was a tougher group with Freddie Bear being the winner in there on that occasion. 5-2 on the board. I would say too short of a price for me on Bit of Luck right now. And then number 3, Osborne Sealster. All kinds of early speed. We might see it again tonight from this 7-year-old gelding. Might fire off, try to sit a decent trip, maybe cut it out, but I think more so try to sit a trip would be more likely. And 4-1 on the board right now, I would say is about the right price. Number 3, Osborne Sealster. But the horse and geldings moving out on the track. We'll be back, though, in just a few moments to talk about it more with Gary Guy.
Field for the 9th race on parade. 1, Paparazzi, Hanover, Travis Culliford, Jody Cullen, and Keith Hanna. Number 2, Shades of Bay, J.R. Plot for Joe Pereira and Maple Leaf Racing. Number 3, Osborne Sealster, Brent McDonough for Ted McDonnell and Leonard Campbell. And 4 is Bit of Luck, Colin Kelly for Tisha Symes and Michael Goldberg. 5 is Premier Joy, Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. And 7, Blue Moose, Anthony Hahn for Isabel Darvaux and Robert Shepard. Field of 6, race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, we have not had a post 1 win yet this evening. We've had 3 ones finish in the runner-up spot. That's unusual for a half-mile track, but I think it stops right here. I think there's a parallel to the last race. Inside speed, whoever makes the front in a compact field can get the pace that he wants. And if you look 3 races back here, July the 28th, you'd have to think that going to the front from post 5 and 27 and 3 tells you that Paparazzi Hanover can make the front from the inside and also has the back class to back it up, the most back class of any in this field.
Yeah, I think so. Bow in his neck on that occasion. Looks kind of similar tonight on the track. Looks sharp out there, Gary, and like he did on July the 28th. And his last 2, you can't hold those efforts against him. He's facing so much tougher than what he faces tonight, and he had more difficult posts in post 5 and post 7. So getting back into the condition ranks, pole position is the key. And wow, wouldn't it be, it'd almost be unheard of for us not to have a horse from the 1 hole win on the card tonight. So it's got to be Paparazzi Hanover to get it done, I think.
Number 2, Shades of Bay, is probably going to be the one that could find the pocket, although it's not guaranteed. And I would say, based on how Paparazzi Hanover is likely to race, rather than a horse coming first up and beating him, it could well be the one that would get the pocket. Do you see Shades of Bay leaving enough to be the pocket rider?
I'd say very possible with Shades of Bay. He's got enough speed to I think, maintain that spot from post 2. The only, monkey wrench in this scenario could be number 3, Osborne Sealster, because when this one is fired up on the gate, there's very few horses that actually outleave Osborne Sealster. It's just a matter if they really want to try to go a taxing journey again with this one. I think Shades of Bay is another one that has all kinds of early foot and will be pushing out, looking for that pocket spot behind Paparazzi Sealster.
There's number 4.
Paparazzi Hanover.
Yes. There's number 4, a Bit of Luck, Colin Kelly for Tisha Symes. And look at this is one that does show some speed when you look at a 51-2 win at Scioto this year, a win at Mohawk last year, 51-4. And the career mark is 51 taken only 2 years ago. Bit of Luck is currently 7-2.
A Bit of Luck was an intriguing one in here for me. I was hoping for a bigger price, to be perfectly honest. 7-2 now. It's floating up. Earlier on, 5-2, I was thinking, yikes, that to me is too short. Post 4, it could be up against it from a trip scenario, because if he tries to leave out, he could get hooked into a speed duel. And if he doesn't, he might end up, sitting off one of those kind of races that we don't see a ton of early pace. So for 4-1, the price is, I guess, I would say just okay at best. For me, bit of luck. If he had drawn inside more and was inside some of the speed, he'd be more appealing. I would say more so he's likely to land on the bottom end of the exotics.
Now, maybe a way for 3 Osborne Sealster to defeat the 1 in here is to leave well enough to be able to then tuck in second in front of Shades of Bay if Shades of Bay can't stay on the back of Paparazzi Hanover. Osborne Sealster then maybe later trying to beat him late in the lane. You see that 26-4 opening quarter here 2 races ago. So you mentioned there's lots of wheels there, and that was a good effort. Third beating a neck in 54-1 to Jake Hennar, Lighttail, and Freddie Bear. Those are a couple of tough ones.
Yeah, when Osborne Sealster's fired up off the gate, there's not many horses that can really outleave this one. And I think that might be the game plan tonight. The other option could be to even try to get to the front and then, give and go with Paparazzi Hanover. 9-1 on the board. I think that he's one that's gone some pretty tough miles the last 3. So maybe, an easier trip might be, the hope tonight. But if they do decide to go forward, he's one that's pretty hard to hold off early.
Well, there's no value on 1 Paparazzi Hanover at 4-5. At this point, 3 Osborne Sealster, that's the value on the ticket, isn't it?
I'd say 8-1. If you get that price, yeah, you might be one that you could take a chance on if he is able to leave out to the early lead or sit the trip in the 2 hole. For me, I think Paparazzi Hanover is going to be difficult to beat, but if someone does want to take a shot on a better price, that might be where the value is.
Well, it is number 1 Paparazzi Hanover. All of the handicappers have this one on top and is on the board at even money, but it still is a nice field and a field of 6 moving in behind the gate. Paparazzi Hanover, Shades of Bay on the inside. In the center, Osborne Sealster and Bit of Luck. And to the outside, Premier Joy and Blue Moose. It is a field of 6. It is race number 9 on a marvelous Monday evening at Grand River Raceway. It is post time. Here they come. Field of 6, race number 9. They're reaching the top of the stretch, and here they come. Field for the 9th race. In position. And they're at the start of the round. Paparazzi Hanover, Shades of Bay, Osborne Sealster, and then it is Bit of Luck and Premier Joy and Blue Moose. Paparazzi Hanover had the pop early and has got the lead. Shades of Bay is second. Osborne Sealster is positioned third as they come away in program order. Then Bit of Luck and Premier Joy and Blue Moose. Paparazzi Hanover at even money on the board and looks sharp on top as Travis Cullen looking to rate Paparazzi Hanover now on the lead is in front by 2 at the opening quarter and racing past that quarter. They went 27-4 was the opening panel. Shades of Bay is moving up a little closer in the pocket. Then it's a gap of 2 or 3. Osborne Sealster, Bit of Luck, Premier Joy and Blue Moose, and they race their way off the turn. It is Paparazzi Hanover leads as they come on towards us. Paparazzi Hanover, Shades of Bay, and J.R. Plot on the back of Paparazzi Hanover looks very sharp coming past the half and leads it by a length and 3/4 over Shades of Bay. Now moving to the outside goes Bit of Luck. Osborne Sealster on the inside, then Premier Joy and Blue Moose. 56-1 is the halftime. A 29-2 second panel as they work their way on into the backstretch, and it is Paparazzi Hanover who leads as they race the backstretch. Paparazzi Hanover, Shades of Bay is there racing in the pocket. Shades of Bay is going to pop to the outside. Paparazzi Hanover, Shades of Bay is trying. Paparazzi Hanover is getting some urging right now, and Shades of Bay and J.R. Plot is right alongside Paparazzi Hanover has now come on to get the lead. Paparazzi Hanover couldn't fend off Shades of Bay. Then racing third is Bit of Luck, and then fourth is Premier Joy, and then it is back to Osborne Sealster as the field turns for home, and they come on down the stretch ride, and it is Shades of Bay. Shades of Bay has got this one sewn up, and Bit of Luck second, Paparazzi Hanover third, and then finishing fourth, it was Premier Joy. Shades of Bay 153-3. Rob was able to get by Paparazzi Hanover and then stride away to take down the favorite. It was even money. Shades of Bay at 3-1.
3-1 on Shades of Bay and 53-3, big mile, and really just kind of being wrapped up at the wire there by JR Plant. And Gary, I was thinking about it as I saw all of our selections there, and it reminded me of when you see the NFL games when all the experts pick the same team, what usually ends up happening.
Yes,
The other team usually wins.
absolutely. And by the way, I called the
And
half wrong. It was a 28-2 second panel. 56-1 was enough to open the door.
yeah, Paparazzi Hanover looked pretty fired up out there, and maybe not too easy to rate tonight. And when I saw Shades of Bay kind of really tight to his helmet and kind of climbing over top of him, I said, "Uh-oh, Shades of Bay looks like he's going to probably be able to go by this one pretty easily at some point," and he did exactly that. And listen, Shades of Bay is a good horse in his own right. He's been racing the preferred and getting pieces in there, and breaks through with a win now, just a second win in the season. But this is one, Gary, that we're always mentioning that in the preferred level, you've got to use him somewhere on your ticket. So now he gets to the upper condition class and gets the better of them, and maybe we should have seen it coming tonight.
And not a night for the ones, Paparazzi Hanover. Although one thing to note, that race that Paparazzi Hanover wired the field back July the 28th, got to the half in 55-4 and was able to keep trucking. So, Paparazzi Hanover, I didn't expect him to get passed by two horses in the stretch. Shades of Bay was legitimately a quality effort, though. On the board, it's a 2-4-1-5. And coming back in front of us is number 2, Shades of Bay, 9-year-old Art Major Bay horse, owned by Maple Leaf Racing, trained by Joe Pereira. J.R. Plant, the winning driver. It is the second win this year, 22nd lifetime, Shades of Bay, 153-3. The ninth race payouts, number 2, Shades of Bay, 8-10-3-90, 244. Bit of luck, 440, 261. Paparazzi, Hanover, 220. $2 exactor, $29.40. Try, $28.10. Superfectus, $74.30. Ninth race, or her finish from the top, 31524 scratch 6. That's 31524 scratch 6.
I knew it had to be a full moon tonight. I just I just had a feeling it had to be a full moon. We have not had one single horse from the pole position post one get a victory tonight, and that's a very big rarity here at Grand River Raceway. We've got one more chance to see that happen here in race number 10, our finale of the night. It is a super high five, or pentafecta, as Gary likes to call it. Horse and geldings. Condition claimers. The price tag is $15,000. The condition is non-winners is $16,500. And I went to number 3, The Devil You Know. This one has been racing at Mohawk Park since getting claimed by Gary Bishop here on July the 19th. And 3 of those came in a condition claimer, which is tougher than this. And 1 came in a claiming handicap, which I would say was even more difficult than those. And, well, second beaten ahead in here on the night he was claimed and was an easy winner to start before that. But look at that. I see we're all unanimous again. Full moon, everyone unanimous again. Yikes. That might be the gold formula, folks, for another upsetter in here. Who knows? But I just think The Devil You Know has a big class edge over everyone in here. And I think that, coming back here to Grand River might be what the doctor ordered for The Devil You Know and Gary Bishop and Austin Sorey here. So 4 to 5 on the board, no value though. And for second, I went to number 6. You Are Driving Me Nuts. Last time finished 4th, beaten only half a length in this class. Did have post 2 on that occasion. Now has to deal with post 6. I understand why he's not getting much love at 13 to 1, but I think he is a factor in here. Then I went to number 1, Umpire Hanover. We need to get a 19 to 1 shot down to break the curse of number 1 not winning tonight. But blinkers to open on this one. Gets the rail versus the trailing post last time. I picked this one on top on August the 9th. Had a second over trip, didn't fire. Ended up finishing 6th. Robert Offangle might pop here at a big price of 18 to 1. The 4 fastest Phelps, 17 to 1 on the board. I think this one is value right now. Maybe one that can, better post 7, 2 back, post 6 last time. Was second in here from post 2, maybe from post 4. Would see a better showing from fastest Phelps, 18 to 1. Good value to use somewhere on the ticket, especially in that high 5. And then number 2, Joe Rockhead, inside post, and one that I think maybe will benefit from having his nose on the gate after last time having the trailing post. But I do think it's The Devil You Know, and it's a pretty contentious group after that. But who knows? It's a full moon, and we've seen some strange things tonight. They're coming onto the track for the finale, race 10, the super high 5. We'll come back and talk about it one more time with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field for the 10th on parade. 1, Umpire Hanover, Paul McKenzie for Gord Ryman. And 2 is Joe Rockhead, child of birth for Mike Salas. Number 3, The Devil You Know, Austin Sorey for Gary Bishop and Courtney Bishop and Leo Fleming and Bill Maines. 4 is Fast as Phelps, Scott Culver, Sean Hyatt and Dave Simpson and Michelle Sherman. 5 is George's Credit Ride to Rush for Steve Roberts and Rick Edwards. Number 6, You're Driving Me Nuts. Colin Keller, Kyle Bossens, and William Pendleton. And number 7, Tradition, prepping down for Nikki Comegna and Bruno Comegna. And number 8 is AJ Knight, Talbot for Greg Campbell and Angelo DeLellis. Field of 8, race number 10, featuring the Super High 5, the Pentafecta. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, right now, even money on number 3, The Devil You Know. The venue change. And look at, if you're looking for which one is likely to go to the front, which seems to be the key this evening, and often here at Laura, look at 26-4 opening quarters, 3 and 4 starts back. The Devil You Know in Austin, sorry, likely to gun out with the a change in venue and class.
Yeah, I would certainly think so. It's a big difference in competition. It really is, and getting back to the level where Gary Bishop claimed this horse out of, and this one was racing, pretty well in a dominant victory. You'll see 3 from the bottom on the program page on July the 12th, and then finished second after going overland a long way from the trailing post. After that, when Chuck Heaton Love battled back to win, up the inside. So I think that The Devil You Know is a bit of a standout in here. Looks good on the track, but Gary, we've seen some strange things tonight. And, who knows what might happen in the finale here.
I don't think it would be all that strange if 6 You're Driving Me Nuts was able to win here, although I certainly wouldn't be predicting it. But it's Colin Kelly, Kyle Bossens. Colin's already got 3 on the evening. This horse raced pretty well here last race, beaten half a length. And there are some other things when you look a little further down the lines that you can like. It'll be interesting to see if Colin's plan is to fire hard off the gate despite post 6.
Yeah, I would like to know that myself, to be perfectly honest, because I'm a big fan of this horse, and I was on this one last time, got beat by half a length, and if you remember, that was a real long shot that came up to get them, and here's that man again, and post 6, we've seen speed from this one, not necessarily from the outside. Maybe we see it tonight 4-1, taking a lot of play, solid connections that you never want to ignore.
Well, we'll see if on the inside at 16-1, umpire Hanover can make some speed and get the 1 back in the win column. This one does have a couple of wins on the year, and I think if you take a look at that last start here, maybe that battling first up from the trailer post, it still was a mile of 58-4, but maybe umpire Hanover, gate speed on the inside, might be able to outrace the odds.
Yeah, umpire Hanover, it was actually second over that trip for most of it anyways, and then kind of backed away, and that was what kind of concerned me a little bit with this one. However, trailing post versus nose on the gate from the pole position is a big difference. The blinkers to open, you see an equipment change as well, which maybe needed to see more of what was in front of him in order to come forward, because I actually thought that it was kind of he just kind of fell off abruptly after getting a solid trip on that occasion. So I jumped off this one this time around. So for the Robert Off players, umpire Hanover is your horse, and 12-1 from the rail is never a bad idea here at Grand River.
Number 4, Fast as Phelps. It's Scott Coulter driving. This one gets a little bit better post and did leave here 3 races ago. Mile was only 58. Might need a little bit more speed, but at least one that you can use on the ticket, and at 15-1.
I think so. 15-1 is a decent price on this one. I'm not saying necessarily I'd be excited to bet a win ticket on him, but 1 for 16 this year, so that's a little bit of a concern for those players. But if you want to use this one in the ticket, I think you can certainly use them really anywhere. In the exotics, especially that super high 5 wager.
Number 2, Joe Rockhead came up with better speed last race here, 56-4, beaten 2 1/4. And maybe could build on that here from post 2 and outrace those odds, 8-1, one to get on the ticket.
Yeah, another one from an inside post that we see hitting the board so often in these super high 5 races. So Joe Rockhead right now just down to 6-1. I think should get every chance to land somewhere on the ticket.
Well, It is number 3, the Devil You Know, the favorite at even money on the board. We'll see if one umpire Hanover could help out the team 1. And it is a field of 8. Umpire Hanover, Joe Rockhead, and the Devil You Know on the inside. Fast as Phelps and George's Credit to the outside. You're Driving Me Nuts, Tradition, and AJ Knight. Field of 8, the 10th and final dash. Here they come. Giddy up. Field is at the start and they're off, and umpire Hanover, Joe Rockhead, and the Devil You Know. And George's Credit. The field strides into the turn. Umpire Hanover on the inside is able to stride right out and grab the lead. The Devil You Know. And now Austin Sorey is working on the outside with the Devil You Know. And then Joe Rockhead is racing third. Fast as Phelps is fourth, and then George's Credit. You're Driving Me Nuts, Tradition, and AJ Knight. And now the Devil You Know is able to come on and get the lead. Umpire Hanover is right there racing the bucket on the back of the 2-5, the Devil You Know. Umpire Hanover at 11-1 is nose to helmet in the pocket, 27-4 the opening quarter. Joe Rockhead third. Fast as Phelps is racing fourth, and here comes You're Driving Me Nuts now to the outside, and coming with authority as they race off the turn. It's the Devil You Know. You're Driving Me Nuts, and Colin Kelly driving up sharply to the outside. On the inside, umpire Hanover's racing third. Then from the backfield, moving up also with Tradition, Joe Rockhead is along to the inside, about 5 off the lead. Then Fast as Phelps and George's Credit. And AJ Knight, 57-4 the halftime, 30-second second panel breather of that 27-4 opening quarter. The Devil You Know. You're Driving Me Nuts to the outside, trying to wear down the Devil You Know. And then it is umpire Hanover. Tradition is getting up a little closer, second over, and is on the back of You're Driving Me Nuts as the Devil You Know of that 57-4 halftime continues on. Now You're Driving Me Nuts weakens, and on the inside, umpire Hanover still there, getting the trip in the pocket. And then Tradition is sent out 3 wide down to the inside, Joe Rockhead. AJ Knight is racing 4 wide on the turn, and then it is Fast as Phelps and George's Credit. It is the Devil You Know. Umpire Hanover, as the field turns, Rome is racing second. The Devil You Know, and umpire Hanover to settle things in the lane. The Devil You Know continues on. The Devil You Know was devilishly good in the 10th to take it. Umpire Hanover was second, then finishing third. It was Tradition, AJ Knight, and then George's Credit. The Devil You Know winning in 157 flat, 30-second second panel breather. And Austin Sorey was in great position from that point on.
Yeah, great drive by Austin Sorey there to just keep with it at the start. Umpire Hanover wanted to ensure, Paul McKenzie wanted to ensure that he had the spot behind that one. So sometimes you're going to see a lot of, driving from that pole position to make sure no one else tries to get that pocket trip. Austin Sorey comes around and then leads every step of the way after that. Class prevails. And sometimes it doesn't end up that way because of trip, but tonight it sure did, with the Devil You Know coming back to this class and proclaiming his dominance at this level. Umpire Hanover, raced pretty well, got a perfect trip, and I love the way this one left off the gate tonight, and then set a really, nice trip to finish second.
There was an interesting moment on the first turn, I thought, for number 3, the Devil You Know, because for a second it looked to me like Austin was maybe thinking of taking the 3 back, but then drove on. I'm not sure what to make of that.
Yeah, I think it was just that there was, a little more action than he anticipated, going on in there. And even some horses to the outside were leaving as well. And it's interesting because that turn comes so quick, right? So it's those snap decisions that make all the difference. And he made the right call to drive on. And, when you're a 2-5 shot, you're better off being on the point than somewhere else. And, nice steer by Austin there to get the job done.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he had a moment of thought of taking back, but the right thought was to drive on, and was able to win 3-1, 7-8, 5, 2-5 on the board. The Devil You Know lived up to the odds, and back in front of us is the Devil You Know. And a 4-year-old Dally Brown Gelding, owned by Courtney Bishop and Leo Fleming and Bill Baines. Gary Bishop's the trainer. Austin Sorey. Awesome Austin with the victory in the 10th. It's the second win this year. 5th lifetime for the Devil You Know, 157 flat. The 10th race payouts 3, The Devil You Know, 280, 250, 260, 1, Umpire Hanover, 530 and 550 and 7, Tradition, $5. $2 exactor, $23.80. Dollar try, $79.75. The double, $15.40. The dollar win for $27.65. The dollar high five, $911.85. The 10th race order of finish from the top, 271-65834. That's 271-65834. Well, fans, that does conclude the live harness racing program for this Monday evening. And note, the next live racing event here at Grand River Raceway is this coming Wednesday. Our first race will go to post at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Christine.
Good night, Gary.
Good night, Robert. Team player.